Hey, it's Archie, and you're on the Archie live stream channel. Guys, we are live and we are broadcasting. I just want to tell you guys, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be here, and I want to welcome you all today. Today's the first day. Bear's gone on vacation. Bear's gone on vacation. That's right. Let's run the intro and let's start the show, guys. Let's go. Guys, ArchieLuxury, and you are on the ArchieLuxury live stream. Guys, we are broadcasting. We are broadcasting live, and we want to get involved with our punters there. We want to get involved with our punters. What can I say to the crew and crowd that are here? What can I say, guys? Guys, I want to say, firstly, I want to say, so Bear's away. He's gone away. He's coming back, I think about 2 weeks, a week and a half. So it's look, he's been very, very, very good. It's been great to have him on the streams. Unfortunately, well, people need a break. Unfortunately, being myself, I can't really afford to. Well, I can, but it's hard for me to take a break because, I've got I got responsibilities. I got responsibilities. And speaking of responsibilities, look at this. We've got a super chat from Patel Philippe. $50, which is greatly appreciated. And what's the message he says? He says, watch Nicholas sending over 120 viewers, Arch. Give him a big hey! Watch Nick! Hey, thank you so much for sending the traffic to you. We really do like to have we do like to have viewers on our stream. And speaking of viewers, we got Dis. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm going to sleep, but I came to give you some help because I heard Bear is in the round.
No, that's correct. He started his holidays. He comes back on the 14th. 14th, my time. American is the 15th, American time. How you been, man? Dis, I want to thank you for coming on the stream for the early morning show, which would have been my late show. I had to take care of something myself.
Of course.
And I just want to say thank you. Lux did a great job last night. I was tuning in. We even had the Narc. Narc reckons he spoke to me. I don't even talk to Narc. Says he rings all these people, right?
Yeah.
I have never spoken to Narc personally.
Really? I have.
No,
I have.
I've never spoken to him personally. Never.
Yeah.
Only on a stream. I have only spoken to him on a stream. And hey, what can you do? What can you do indeed?
What can you do? What can you do? We have a super chat from Patel Philippe.
Here we go.
A new one.
Chat from Patel Philippe. Here we go. Patel Philippe, $2. Link for Plastique. Who's Plastique? He's working. He's working. He wouldn't be available today. I don't mind Plastique. He look, you know what? They say time heals wounds. Sometimes you're really angry at someone. It's funny how time does heal wounds. And I got nothing against plastics, but the problem is if I bring plastic on, Bear hates plastic. Oh my god, it's just such a drama. I don't, the turmoil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got Paul Thorpe who might be coming on. I'll just check him now. Hello,
Okay.
sir. Just checking if you are coming on. I'd love to have you.
I heard there's some drama with TGV and Paul Thorpe, something, right?
Well, speaking of drama, we got the Ross Rachel Brady in the house. Glad to see you wearing
Hey,
clothes today, Ross.
Ross Rachel Brady.
Hey, Diaz.
Yeah,
Hey,
glad to
Diaz.
see you
Medium
wearing
size guy.
clothing.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
man.
that's. Oh, Paul Thorpe is coming on in 2 minutes. So, Ross, I just want you to be very polite, please. No, just be very polite and just sit there, because he's an,
Okay.
Okay,
we
I'll
love
be
you,
polite
Ross.
as well. I'll be polite as well, Archie.
Yes, I will
Hey,
be
you're
polite.
always polite. Dis, when do you start the new job, by the way?
1st of September.
Oh, good
Wow,
for you.
I'm so
Yeah,
proud
I
of you,
got a new
man.
job.
All right. Good for you, Diaz.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. Oh,
Super chat, Patel Philippe.
Patel Philippe, we got $5. Here we go, $5 from
Thank you,
Patel.
Philippe.
Here we go, Patel Philippe, $5. Archie, what's the maximum length of time Ross can contain himself before he starts talking about medium-sized buttocks? Look, I find with Ross, if you steer Ross a certain way, he can be quite good. If you go onto some tangents, he goes crazy. So what the secret to Ross is, you need to be very how do I put it? You need to be very polite and just steer him the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've got another super chat there. Neo, $2. Ross, dump Ross, have him back later. Well, Neo, I don't want to dump people. We don't have A grade or B grade panelists. All my panelists are A grade. So Ross is perfectly okay. He's okay there. I can hide him in the corner. By the way, Dis, what do you think? I want to get your advice. I sold the paddock and I've
Oh,
also sold
congratulations. Congratulations.
Yes, and I got a Grand Seiko and cash. That's what I swapped it. I did a look.
Oh,
Basically, I sold it, and part of the deal was a which I gave the Grand Seiko to my son.
are you wearing it?
No, my son. My son has the Grand Seiko. I gave. Just hang on. I've got another contestant. Hello, Curly. How are you, sir? Curly. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes a little while to start up. He's got valve amplifiers. Guys, if you're using valve, you know valve amplifiers are, don't you?
The old tubes.
Yeah, tubes.
You got to
How
let
are
them
you?
warm up. They got to warm up, and they start glowing, and all of a sudden they're running.
Curly, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
I'm here to. I'm on very little sleep, but I want to ask you something. Do you have any idea of? And this has got nothing to do with drama on your channel. Do you have any idea of the eruption of drama that's happened in the last 24 hours with TPG?
No, what happened?
Okay, let me help you out. Nicholas is going to come here and give you a little summary, but I think the first thing you should do is offer Paul Thorpe. Oh,
He's
here
coming.
he is.
I got Paul Thorpe here. Paul Thorpe
and
here.
you know what? You don't need anybody's help but Paul Thorpe to fill you in a little bit because I know you're kind of blind. Thank you, Mr. Thorpe.
Mr. Thorpe, I have A-grade celebrity here, Mr. Paul Thorpe. Paul Thorpe, how are you, my friend? Oh, sorry, we can't hear you, Paul Thorpe. That's okay, just 1 minute there. He's looking bloody good. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
You know, the thing I don't like about Paul Thorpe is he looks younger than me. He's got nicer teeth, that's for sure. He's got nicer teeth.
Yeah.
You wish you looked as good as
Sorry,
Paul
we can't
does.
hear you, Paul. Sorry.
We don't have sound, Paul.
No sound. No sound. I'm sorry. I don't
Still
know
no
why.
sound. Still no sound, Paul.
Sorry.
Mate.
I'll just make
Mate,
sure
though.
he's on. He's on. I'll put it on full volume. He's definitely there. It's got echo cancellation. I don't know if that won't cause that problem. Just have a look. Hello, Paul. No sound. No sound at all.
He's not muted. There's no sound coming from his end. He's not muted at all here on this end.
No, I can't. We're sorry, Paul. We just can't hear anything.
What about now?
No sound at all. Nothing.
Anything now?
Nothing.
No?
Oh yes, we can, sir. we got
We
you.
can hear you.
Well, hey,
Hello, Paul.
sorry about that, gents.
No problems, Paul. You're looking great.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, I've been laying in bed and I had to get up because I wanted to come on tonight to say hello to you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's an honor, Paul. It is an absolute honor
Pleasure's
to have
all
you
mine.
on. I've actually been a huge fan of you. I've been a critic. I've been an asshole, but I'll be honest with you. I met
We've
you
all
in
done
real
that,
life.
Paul.
You're a decent guy. I
Thank
really
you,
like
mate.
you.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, we got a
we've all
$50
done
super
that.
chat. Just very quickly, let me grab these two. NATO, $3. This got a job. John C,
Thank you.
$2. Ross, what's your favorite position? And we've got another one, which is the super duper chat from Patel Philippe, $50. A welcome for Paul Thorpe's return on the Archie Luxury channel. Thank you for helping the OG live stream. We appreciate you coming on the show. Don't let Archie give you any soft cock interviews. Okay, Paul Thorpe, what has happened with TPG? Please tell me. I've had some personal emergencies I've had to deal with. My son cut his finger. It's all okay, but I haven't been in the media loop. What has happened, Paul? Please tell me.
Well, I've been a busy boy today, Paul. I mean, I've done a live and I've done 2 videos today. I'll just give it to you in short, Paul, because a lot of your viewers will probably have seen all this anyway, so I don't want to bore them with the same stuff. But what I said on my video a couple of days ago is that up until this morning, up until today, I've never had anyone come to me via email, text, WhatsApp, whatever, and say, Paul, Anthony's ripped me off. He's done this, he's done that. Can you help me? I've never had that. Now, what I have had is a lot of people telling me that he's a bad guy. But the example I use, Paul, is that, look, if you go to the police and say, look, the fella at number 10 is a bad guy, they'll go, well, what's he done? And if you say, well, I don't know, nothing, but I just think he's a bad guy, they're not going to do anything, right?
Correct. They want evidence.
They want evidence. And that's all I've ever asked for anyone.
Trading Profit, $2. Welcome, Paul. One of your fans has just jumped on here.
That's all I've ever asked from anyone is that if Anthony is what people think he is, show me the proof.
Hey, we just got Paul Thorpe here. He's just letting us know what's happened. Watch, Nick. So
sorry.
Yes.
So today I did a live stream and I said, look, I'm hearing a lot of things. I've got no evidence to back it up.
Yes.
Give me some evidence. And I've had 2 people today that have contacted me direct. One of them allowed me to do an interview with him. One of them wants to remain private, and I'll respect that.
Sure.
Mate, there's some big shit going on.
Hey, Dish, if you want to go to bed, man, that's perfectly fine. I've got enough on the panel
it's
now.
okay. I want to remain. If you feel that my presence is obstructing anything, then I will leave.
No, that's okay. So, Paul, how much money are we talking? What sort of watches are we talking? Someone's come to you. What are we talking?
Okay, I think I could talk about value, and I want to talk about 2 of the watches because the gentleman has asked me not to mention them, and I want to respect that.
Are they a Rolex or an AP or a Patek? Could we say one of those brands?
We're talking watches from the top 3 brands in the world.
Oh, you mean Richard Mille?
Like I said, Paul, I don't want to
go into it. Okay, fair enough.
I don't want to break.
Okay, what sort of money are we talking, Paul?
The 3 people that I've spoken to, we are talking about, I think, over $500,000.
All up or individual ones?
Altogether, over $500,000.
US dollars?
Yeah.
$500,000. So these are pieces that were given on consignment. Is that correct?
Yes.
And basically, he doesn't have the money, and he says, what does he say has happened to them?
Well, I'm not entirely clear because, you know, look, one of the gentlemen's English is not his first language.
Okay.
We've actually been WhatsApping. That's what I've been doing for the last 45 minutes. He may even be watching now. I've been keeping in contact with him. I'm very distressed for him. But look, this is the thing. Today has brought a whole new thought train for me with Anthony, in the respect that I'm not stupid. I know that he's never been what you would call a perfect individual. You know, there's always been flaws there, etc.
Sure, that's what we love about him. It's that larger than life persona. That's kind of, love him or hate him, we've all loved that. You know, that entrepreneurial, put it on black attitude. Neo $2, Archie. It's 3 to 5 million, all in all probability more. Well, at the moment, Paul Thorpe is saying $500,000 US has been substantiated. D-Time Love Show, £10. Evening AC3 and everyone watching. Great to see Paul on the show. Paul is always welcome here. The only reason Paul Thorpe doesn't come more on my shows is because the bloody time zone is such a bitch.
Yeah,
the time, it's.
Hey, Archie,
what
I want
time
to
is it
interrupt
where you are?
Can you drop a link in case D wants to jump on with Mr. Thorpe?
But Paul,
sure.
Let me tell you, mate, you're the only person in the world that would have me on the live stream at this time of night. Whilst I've got the guys on, Curly, by the way, I thoroughly enjoyed your analysis earlier on. I think you was a bit harsh on me at times, but I totally understand what you were saying and I respect it. Nicholas, as far as I'm concerned, what's happened between us in the past is in the past. I think one thing that I'd like to say that I believe that you got wrong earlier was you said that I was constantly defending Anthony. I think what I was doing a lot of the time was defending myself against some of the things that were said about me that I've always felt was a little bit unfair. But like I said, look, bygones are bygones as far as I'm concerned. I have no wish to have any problems with anyone. I bloody love this community. I love the friendships that we've managed to form. I love the shows that we've managed to put on. You know, we've had Paul over to the UK, larger than life. You know, we've had some wonderful times together. And I want those, Paul. Yeah, and I want those to continue. I want them to get bigger. Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the biggest frigging watch show in the world where every single goddamn person comes along, puts their arms around each other and makes up. But if the time comes that I have to call someone out that has been a friend of mine, I'll call him out. I take no pleasure in it, but I have no choice.
Now, I appreciate that, Paul. Just so you know, I know the difference between us being mudslingers and gunslingers and you being a professional businessman. So I hope that you know that too. So we're different styles, same intentions.
Patel Philippe, $5. Link for D. I've just put the link
Curly,
there.
if I ever need anyone threatening, trust me, you're the man that I'm going to give a call, because with that accent of yours, you'd scare the living daylights out of me.
Well, hey, you may need to hire me and Nicholas because they're not doing you any favors on Tim Wright's channel right now, Paul.
Look, mate, I know, look.
But they're discredited, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Paul. Your credibility goes a lot further than theirs.
We got Neo, $10 super chat. Mr. Thorpe, you are a respected member of the Freedom Alliance. We want to see more of you. You betcha. I've always had. Paul, let me ask you this. I want to ask you some quick questions because it's getting late,
Sure.
and I know you've got to go to bed soon. I want to ask you some real quick questions.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to Anthony recently?
No, only by text, very briefly. I tell you, Paul, you know, I'll tell you straight, the same as I told my viewers earlier on, I WhatsApped him, just looking at my phone, a couple of days back, asking him if he would come on and tell me what's going on, because I'm here. What I said to him was, look, Anthony, I don't want to talk about you behind your back. Tell me the truth. Let me know what's going on so that I can report on it fairly.
There was a thing on Reddit that's circulating. It's basically a message he sent to some consignment, allegedly sent to some of his consignment people. Yeah. Is that true or is that not true?
Well,
is that a fake?
It looks like it is, Paul, but I've not had any confirmation of that.
Okay, because
sorry, Paul. This is what I was saying earlier on. Is that one of the reasons that we all have to be careful is there's so much fake stuff flying around. You never know quite what is true and what isn't, and you know. But he did reply to me very briefly, saying that he didn't want to come on air, but he wanted to tell me some things as a friend.
Yes.
And I said, look, you're welcome to do that, but I can't promise you that I won't repeat it because this is too serious.
Yes. Just very quickly, let me grab the super chat here. We got a super chat from Bear Clooney. And we got Watch Nicholas. I'm just trying to bring you up
Hey,
there.
Bear, how you doing?
Watch Nick.
Hey, sorry, I had some connection issues. I'm here. Sorry, boys. Sorry, Thorpe.
Yeah, just quickly,
That's
I want to
okay.
read from Bear Clooney, $20 Canadian. Why was Watch Nicholas not recognized for bringing community's attention to Anthony's TPG shady dealings when everyone was vouching for him while Nicholas was lonely voiced the reason? At least
Shall I be
let's
honest with
thank
you?
him.
Shall I be honest with you all and
Mhm.
give you an answer to that from my perspective at least?
Yes, sir.
It may be a culture thing, but as an Englishman, the way that Nicholas approached it was very American, if I
Yes.
can say that. And it's
Yes.
not our way of doing things. And I you know, he wouldn't necessarily agree with the way that I approach things, and I don't always necessarily agree with the way that he approached things. But that doesn't mean to say that we
Sure.
have to be enemies.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
with that. I totally agree with that, Mr. Thorpe, for sure.
I've got to be totally honest. Watch Nicholas, thank you for sending the lead to us today. I really do appreciate
You
that.
betcha. No problem.
That makes it for these live streams. That is so important to get the viewers tuned in there. Patel Philippe, $5. Paul, your real fans are here. He's talking to you, Mr. Thorpe. Get Archie to send you loads of coffee to appear more with us. That's a good point there.
Get
But
those
Paul
super
does need.
chats in for Archie.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thorpe. I wanted to ask you, Watch Nicholas, I will interview you once I've finished with Paul Thorpe, because I'd like to ask you some questions because you were very early on to this. Paul, the thing is this, how serious is the situation? We've seen a situation where he was renting a penthouse for 100,000 US a month. We've seen him look at fantastic. He had a Mercedes G-Wagon. He had Lambos, fancy-wancy cars. I got nothing against fancy-wancy cars as long as you can pay your bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How serious is the problem? And we've just got Bear Clooney joining the stream now. Hello, Mr.
Hey,
Clooney.
Bear. What's up, Bear?
My super chat was not answered fully. I understand that you're Englishman, Mr. Thorpe. I understand what you're saying. My question: if he wasn't recognized at that time, isn't it now kind of due to actually thank him for what he did?
Well-
Nicholas, are you talking about?
Yes.
I'm asking, isn't it time to thank him for what he was the first one to discover and bring to the attention of the watch community, shady dealings?
Which shady dealing are you talking about?
Overextending in expenses and not providing proper service to the customer.
If that is a fact, I would.
It's a fact. It's been proven over and over. Now it's exploding. It's getting to a point that cannot be hidden any longer. But it actually gradually was building up to it.
You know what you might be unaware of, Paul, is that when Anthony did that $2,000 join the Facebook group,
right?
There was a lot of people from the Archieverse directly from here that signed up for that, and then when it fell through, he was giving people he was only giving people refunds that had a platform, and all these people that he said he gave refunds to that he didn't. The only platform they had was Watch Nicholas, and that's kind of how it all.
That's how it started, exactly.
We also had a punter that had a bad $90,000 AP deal called Bud the Stud, who he continually, always would put on. You know, the one thing you got to admit, Paul, Anthony had no problem using his channel as a weapon to put people on blast. He did that a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what we countered with. Different style, but you know what? I could tell you this. Nicholas does the same thing with O'Sheen O'Malley when he goes after Alex, who's a member of this community. BQ Watches, who's a sponsor of Archie's.
These are my friends.
Yeah, and we don't expect you to get mud on your hands, but we also don't want to be called. OC was in your chat with his whole hate channel narrative, which means us, because they don't like when we put the mirror up on them, because we don't just talk, we play their clips, what they say in real time.
Exactly. Freedom
and we got copyright struck twice because of it.
Freedom and truth should not be interpreted as a hate.
Let me just grab the super chat. Neo, $2. We've got Watch Nicholas, AC3, Thorpe, JJ, Dis, Neo, the awesome team, peace. And we've got Mr. Zoso, $5. Watch Nicholas deserves respect. Unlike many others who were given that courtesy, he earned it. Respect to Watch Nicholas. I think the thing is, I think the reason Paul Thorpe is being a little bit guarded, number one, it's fucking late at night. Okay, it's 1 a.m. in the morning.
No. It's
Second thing is
being late. I'm sorry, Archie. Do not do that.
Yeah. The second thing is, I think Paul is very cautious.
I think he's being guarded because he doesn't fully understand what Watch Nicholas does. I think he's being given false information, and this is what we continue seeing in the community. What we continue seeing, where freedom and honesty and integrity is being interpreted as nothing else but hate. While we're doing this, the other channel is actually doing playing apologist a game on a guy that stole so much money from people, and doing a catfishing, hoping that scammer eventually jumps on their channel for simple clicks and views. We need to start being honest with ourselves. We need to start. We don't have to like people always. We don't have to like their style. We don't have to like their methods. But when they're doing a right thing, they need to be acknowledged, okay? I had in the past to say some negative things about Watch Nicholas. I said them on this channel, okay? Ultimately, I learned what he does. I learned what he had to say, and I'm thankful for his doings, okay? Different method than I would do, but with all due respect, Mr. Thorpe, he was the first one that brought this to everyone's attention.
Okay, we just need to see what sort of a shit disaster it is at the moment. We're just trying to be very cautious, and we are praying to Jesus that it's nowhere near as bad as Watch Nicholas has said, because at the moment, Paul Thorpe has got 3 substantiated cases. Is that correct, Mr. Thorpe? Two substantiated cases, and the problem is, Bear, we just pray to God. Paul Thorpe is actually quite a very positive person, and he's thinking to him, I can hear it from his brain. I can see the lines there. He's saying, tell me this is just a mix-up. Tell me it'll all be fixed up and these guys will be made whole.
I'll give you, in a minute, what I'll do is I'll give you my opinion as what I think or what I suspect is going on here, potentially. I'm not accusing him of it from a legal standpoint. I'm saying this is what I think is potentially going on. I just want to answer a couple of people in the chat there, if that's all right. I mean,
yes, of course.
There's someone in the chat there called Faye Clegg, who I banned from my channel probably 3 years ago, who has been a continual troll and a hater of me personally.
Maybe we should ban him now. That could be a good thing to start.
Don't ban him. Don't ban him. Let them have their say. But that particular individual, he's saying that
he's just a troublemaker.
He's saying that I don't like Nicholas because he called out my son. Listen, anyone is welcome to call out my son. My son did what he did, and he can take the blame for it. I would never hide from that. It's got nothing to do with that, Mr. or Mrs. Clegg or whatever.
Hey guys, we want to talk about what's going on now. This stuff.
Yeah, I probably don't want to get sidetracked on the past.
Nicholas is on the panel, and that stuff is behind us. So let's talk about now.
Nick, I think one of the reasons that me and you haven't seen eye to eye in the past is that our styles are just very different. I was always brought up to be polite and to argue my case, try and argue it politely.
I give respect to people who give me respect, for sure. It's reciprocal, right? It goes both ways, for sure.
Yeah. In the past, without repeating myself, I do think you said things that are unfair about me in a somewhat aggressive fashion. But look, I'm happy to forgive and forget, and I'll give you credit for having the foresight to. I don't watch your channel a lot up until last couple of days. No doubt I will have missed things, and if I have, for that, I would say, it's unfortunate that I've missed
if you have, it sounds like you certainly have, but we can move on either way. I don't know why you don't want to just actually move on and kind of deal with what we're dealing with right now.
Nick, I'm happy to move on, mate. I'm more
Okay.
than
Nelson
No, I mean, as
Oliveira,
long as we can move on,
$20.
that's
What,
great.
Nicholas, is the TMZ of the watch community and Ross's Craigslist back page? Now, we've got limited time with Mr. Thorpe. I really want to ask a couple heavy hitting questions. Number one, what have you heard from TPG? He's gone radio silence. He's never really liked me. I've never really had a relationship. What has he said to you? Tell us what he has said to you.
I'll read you his last message to me. I'll read it out.
Yes.
So it's from the horse's mouth.
Yes, sir.
I woke up because of the time difference. I woke up
Yes,
to
of
it
course.
this morning. Sorry, let me find it. Jeez, this is how many messages I get every day. Here we
That's
go.
okay.
Hey Paul, are you free to hop on a call and talk? I want to talk to you as a friend and would like to request nothing be filmed. After we talk, you can decide what you wish to share, and I received that at 1 minute, 2 minutes past, sorry, at 1 minute past 2 in the morning, so almost 24 hours ago.
Okay, and did you speak to him since then?
No.
Okay.
No, I replied back to him. I said, sure, let's set up a time, and the message hasn't been read.
Okay. What do you think has happened with him? What do you think has happened? Tell me let's speculate. What do you think has happened?
Honestly,
Yes.
I fear. It depends what his story is. If he tells me that this backpack was lost or stolen, I don't believe him.
Okay.
I don't believe that. Nobody with any sense carries.
You think possibly the money has gone in propping up the business. The expenses have gone a bit high, and before you know it, I'm now 500 in the hole.
Look, again, I don't want to set myself up for being shot at here, but my opinion,
No, but
and I may be wrong.
Okay.
I could well be wrong. I think he's probably dug himself into a hole that the only way that he can get out of it is by doing what's being done at the moment.
Put it all on black again.
Yeah. That's my guess.
How big do you think this could be?
Who knows, Paul? I mean, mate, the way the watch business has been over the last 2 or 3 years, I mean, who knows? Look, if this was a plan, if you was planning to do this, and I've said it myself in the past, if I was a dishonest person, I could go into London tomorrow and walk away with a couple of £1 million for watches from my friends and disappear and go and live in Thailand, and they'd never find me again.
Yes.
But that's not
It's just
me.
wrong.
But if
The funny thing is there, I just grabbed the super chat and I want to tell you something. Finchy, £2. FFS Mikey, how are we only at 50 upvotes? Guys, upvote. When I was in the UK tour, I actually spoke to I'm not going to name the names, Paul. But I spoke to somebody we both know, and they said to me they actually had sold TPG a gold day date. I'm not going to say any more. And they said it was fucking slow to get payment on a £20,000.
Arch, excuse me. Can you pull the link while Mr. Thorpe is here so we don't have people trying to jump on?
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. We don't want people on. Is that what you're saying to me? I'll unpin it. Okay. So look, what I'm trying to say is, I had somebody in the watch business who said, for all the huff and puff he makes, he was a slow payer. Okay, and it took a lot of effort to get payment for supposedly, 20,000, which is a lot of money to me, but he made it seem like, I'm dealing in this and that. That's just so insignificant. Why would I even think of it? It's a round of drinks at Nick and Sam's. And the thing is, the reality is, look, it could have been a misunderstanding. I didn't say anything because it could have been a misunderstanding, but I'd hate to think it could actually be more about the business. He's dug himself into the hole. I think the terrible thing is he doesn't have any assets to back up this. He doesn't have much stuff himself. What the fuck would you do? Do you go bankrupt? What do you do if you were in his position?
Well,
what advice would you give him?
where do I start, Paul? Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're just different characters. I mean, I would rather have died than have left my friends with no money or no watches. I couldn't face them.
Guys, super chat to ask Paul Thorpe. Paul Thorpe is the hottest hottest source of information. Super chat, big super chats to get Mr. Thorpe to ask his opinion. Let me tell you this. We get rid of the leased Mercedes, G-Wagon, the expensive things. Anything you could possibly sell, I would be selling it immediately.
But is it even his, Paul? That's the thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the last time I saw Anthony was in Los Angeles. Sorry, LA.
Yes.
Oh, where is he? For God's sake.
That's right. He's in LA because he was in
LA.
He was in Dallas before. Then he moved over to LA. He's going to hit it big, and I think that's been a disaster. Can we say that?
I saw him. I don't know. I saw him in LA earlier this year with one of my friends, Kev, and our impression was that he wasn't overly friendly. He didn't seem overly pleased to see us. As the meeting went on, it warmed up a little bit, and he was more like the Anthony that I met in Miami the year previously. I think there was a very slight amount of tension there, only a little bit. I think he was a bit wary, but the conversation went fair enough. He seemed very positive about business, was talking about moving into bigger premises. He drove off in a Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any red flags there at all.
No. The Watch Lounge, $5. Paul, was a pleasure meeting you in person when I was at LB. I think it's Luxury Bazaar, maybe.
Thank
LB.
you very much.
That's Watch Lounge. Tell me this. Unfortunately, it seems the only watch Paul, that TPG will be keeping is that beautiful tattoo on his wrist, on his arm. The arm of that beautiful. That's actually a piece of art, to be honest with you. Very, very nicely done. It's really quite serious. If you were him, what would you be doing then? Getting rid of everything you could possibly sell?
Well, I think my time, Paul, will be better on here right now is telling anybody out there that's a potential victim is what they potentially should do. I can't really speak for Anthony because if I don't know him as much as it looks like I don't know him, then I don't know what's going on in his mind. But if I was This is what I was trying to explain to these two gentlemen earlier on. This appears to have brewed up over the last month or so-ish, from what I can see.
Yes.
It may be longer, I don't know. But those watches that he's taken, the money will be there somewhere. You don't spend that sort of money in a couple of weeks if you're deliberately collecting it. The watches that he's been taken on consignment technically still belong to the people that gave them to Anthony. So my advice would be to report those watches that are stolen, for the moment at least, to the police, to make sure that all of those watches' serial numbers are reported to the relevant manufacturers, and to get it out there to every single grey market watch dealer in the world that if you take one of Anthony's watches that isn't paid for, you are buying a stolen watch. So it's really an appeal to the grey market as well, for everyone.
This has killed his business, don't you think? He's gotten absolutely no credibility at all now, has he?
I don't think there's any left now, Paul, is there?
I mean, seriously, Paul, nobody is going to, in their right mind, is going to give more consignment to him.
No.
In fact, nobody's going to trust him even with a deal. They don't even want to deal with him if he's going to pay market price for something.
Yeah. This is the problem. But as I said, Paul, you know, at the moment, our job, when I say our job, everyone's job, is to get behind the people that may have lost watches, to try and get them back. Now, if this was an out and outright scammer that was capable of just disappearing off the face of the earth, I'd be even more worried. But the only good news to this, if there's any good news, is that Anthony is extremely well known. He's not going to be able to hide anywhere. He's not going to be able to run anywhere. And wherever he is, wherever he goes, he will get called out on it. Now, I'm hoping that Anthony can go back to some of the dealers or the private individuals, wherever these watches are, and get them back. Anthony, if you're watching, my appeal to you would be, please get those watches back to their rightful owners. It doesn't matter what position it leaves you in. If you have to go out and clean the streets, you can hold your head up higher doing that than leaving a legacy of being known as someone that walks away with other people's watches. Get them back to their owners, please.
Has he closed his shop? Is the website closed? What's happened so far?
Honestly, don't know. One guy I did speak to today went to the office, but it was closed. But I don't know if it's closed as in like closed down. I don't know.
Yes. Here we go. AD Never Calling, $10. Hi, Paul Thorpe. Please accept this invite to attend our official Archie Luxury meetup at
I'm hoping to.
Watch Time, New York in October. So many Archie super fans will be there and would love to meet you. Come on, mate.
I'm hoping to. Yeah, I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to pop over, see Roman. So I would definitely love to do both.
Tell me this, Paul. With the Wizard, that's another disaster. Have you heard anything on the Wizard?
No, I spoke to a victim who I've been trying to help, and the last, no names, but he told me, I think, when was the last time I spoke to him? Time flies, probably a month, 6 weeks ago, and he said that he was being paid, but slowly.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Tell me this, when is this disaster going to stop in the watch industry? When are people going to be... when are people going to have some I really feel I've got luxury goods, and sometimes these can be tricky things to sell. You want to liquidate a few things.
Yeah.
You give them to someone on consignment because otherwise you get slaughtered on the price, and to actually get it stolen or lose it like that is so. You'd rather have the watch or the thing you.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. You know how I feel about that stuff because, you know, I've been campaigning against it for the last 4 or 5 years of my life. What I will say is, you know, I've seen messages today, people saying, oh, that's it. I'm never trusting anyone from the grey market ever again. The grey market is this, it's that. Look, there are good and bad in every single industry in the world. And I said it earlier on, I'll say it again. Some of the best people that I've ever met have come out of the watch business. I've also met some bad guys in the watch business. But you're going to do that if you're selling watches, cars, or sofas. You're always going to have good and bad in every industry.
Art Vanderlei, $10. It's hard. You betcha. It's a very, very hard business. Paul, what is happening in the watch market itself there? Has sales gone down as the economies have tightened up? Interest rates have gone up around the in the world, and money is getting more expensive. Is this surfacing because he couldn't keep the balls in the air? Is this the why? This is what makes you think? What makes you speculate as to why has it surfaced now when it could be hidden before?
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence that this has maybe come as we almost get back to normal, as in price-wise. I mean, you know, all the hype prices that people were, you know, buy it now, sell it 5 minutes later, make a couple of grand. I mean, that's the way it was. And it might be that he got sucked up into that. Again, I'm just speculating. It might be that he got sucked up into that. Well, this is easy. Well, let me tell you something. Apart from the last 2 or 3 years, watch dealing has never been easy. But it has been for a while, Paul. And now it's not again.
He's got a super chat here from Brew, $2. $2 Canadian. It's not even $2 American. Arch, thoughts on bondage versus Watch Nicholas saga? Whose side are you on? I got to tell you, whose side am I on?
Both sides. There's no sides to pick. It was fun. Actually, last night was fun. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
We can move on.
Bondage is a really good friend of mine. He did so much amazing stuff for me that I could never do anything against Bondage. Bondage has actually said to me...
And nobody's asked you, Arch. Nobody's asked you.
Correctly. So, brah, to be honest with you, Bondage is a super, super, super fan, like a tan. And with Watch Nicholas, I have some commercial arrangements. Watch Nicholas has pissed me off at times. Yes, he has, but he's also done a lot of good things for me. And I'm not being asked to. Watch Nicholas has never asked me to take sides. Same as Curly's never asked me to take sides. And I'd like to leave it like that, especially for $2 Canadian.
That's a good $2 answer. Let's continue with Mr. Thorpe, Arch. Come on.
Mr. Thorpe, I've got to tell you something. This situation, do you think this will make it harder for other dealers around the world to get consignment pieces? Is this destroying the industry?
No, I don't think it's destroying the industry, Paul. I think because people have individual relationships with, a lot of their own dealers and have known them for many years. Would it have affected my relationship with my customers? Not at all, because they, would have known me for a long time. Will it affect Spencer? Not at all, because they're different. They're in different leagues, with all due respect. Anthony has been, he wasn't towards the end of his career, and I'm talking about the end of his career. He had a business premises, albeit a bit of a pop-up one. You could walk away from it in a heartbeat. But when you look at businesses like Spencer's, for an example, David Khalil, these are big bricks and mortar stores, and on different levels, completely different levels.
Finchy, £2, 4p. Do you have an armchair in the corner of your bedroom? I don't understand that, but I don't get that.
No.
The thing I've got to tell you is,
I just wanted to say, Paul, you know what? The thing is, we recognized that a long time ago, that people like David Cahill, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Roman, Nico, Spencer, all on a different level than Anthony. They would never take the risks that guy took.
Yeah.
And he did it on camera. That's what the craziest thing was, is that he did it on camera constantly.
Well, one of the things that gave me, actually, to be honest with you, Curly, that was one of the things that I thought, you know what? This guy is either straight up or he's the most stupid person I've ever met. And he never struck me, when I met him personally, and he certainly never struck me as being stupid.
no.
And I thought, here's a guy that's done things wrong in his life in the past. He's been to jail.
Yes.
He's done things that he shouldn't have done. And he seems determined to prove to the world that he's going to be a good guy. And I've got to be honest with you, I felt for him a bit. I thought, you know what, good luck to
I think
him.
we all did. That's part of the charm. We all felt.
Yeah, if he can come out of jail, put himself back on his feet, he's got a little boy. I'm not one of these people that gets envious when other people get successful.
No.
I think, good luck to you, But, look, it may well, as I said earlier on, it may well prove that I got it completely wrong. And if I did, well, it wouldn't be the first time. But
Paul, I'm not a watch guy, but when I saw things that the security risks that he took with the valuable amounts of things.
Shocking.
Yeah. And like another, for instance, I was like, he never talks about insurance and how it is about shipping watches. But when you see him walk into a FedEx, come out with 2 Pateks, unbox them, rewrap them, put them in another box, and send them off without getting any kind of, without any verification of the, condition of the watch, looking at it. And he did it on camera, like casually. It made everybody look bad. I didn't understand what it was like.
Yeah, that would depend, Curly, on where they come from. For an example, if they come from, say, Roman, then,
they've already been pre-verified. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I don't understand the business.
Yeah, and if they were coming from someone that you'd never met, sure, then it goes through a different scenario.
Gotcha.
But that would be my guess on that one. I don't know, but that would be my guess.
We got a super chat from
walking around with $1 million worth of watches in a case just
Madness.
to flex is it is
Madness.
Here we go, Paul Thorpe. We've got a question thing from Patel Philippe, $5 Californian. Paul, today I traded my Patek Philippe for a Grand Seiko. What do I do? Now, actually, Paul,
do you have a psychiatrist anywhere local?
Well, it's actually, he's referring to me, because what I did was I actually sold my Calatrava. I bought another. No, but hang on a minute. I got 90% money plus I thought a relatively good price Grand Seiko as part of the deal. And you know why? You know why I sold the Patek, and I also sold my Daytona Maserati blue dial off? You know why,
Yeah,
Paul?
yeah,
It's exactly what you said to me after the burglary. It's same thing has happened to you. I don't feel the love for. I love them. They're nice watches. I don't want them because they were staying in the bank safe all the time. I wasn't having them. I wasn't enjoying them. What's the fucking point of them? I thought, you know what? Money is getting expensive on my home loan. I thought, wouldn't it be nice just to chip that away? What do I really want these stupid things for? They've caused me such pain if they go missing or something happens. And I got out of them. So basically what I did was one of the deals was 90% cash plus a Grand Seiko, which I actually, listen to this, I gave the Grand Seiko, it was a spring drive, I gave it to my son for his 18th birthday.
That's nice, Paul.
That's like a £4,000 watch retail. It cost me about £2,000.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what? That's a nice thing for a 18, just a nice. Look, love Grand Seiko or hate Grand Seiko. They are a quality watch. And it's a different genre to Patek or Rolex, different genre, but still an amazing watch nonetheless. And I thought that would be a nice. I tell you honestly, Paul, I've stopped collecting. I honestly, my Louis Vuitton, I actually gave a piece to Tanzil. I gave him a beautiful briefcase. I sold those watch boxes that were damaged. The burglars cut them with saws, and I actually sold them on this very channel, this very stream. Sold them off cheap just to get them out of my life. I don't even want them in my life. Do you see what I mean? And I got to tell you, Paul, you know what? I think 1 or 2 nice watches, 3 or 4, absolute max 4 watches. How many?
That's actually, Paul, I'm actually at 5 right now.
I've never been so happy. I don't even want the fucking things. I mean, I love them. I love a Patek. I love a expensive watch. We've got a super chat. Jay, £5. Due to consignment concerns, e.g. timepiece gentleman watchmaster, why can't owners hold their watch until a buyer is found prior to funds transferred when on consignment?
Paul, can I answer a couple of questions here that I've seen in the chat there?
Sure.
Captain Kirk says, Paul, the only way you could see TPG as trustworthy is if you were looking the other way to promote the grey market at any cost. I mean, honestly, I've got to say it as I see it, messages like that are either designed to try and annoy me or they're just totally ignorant. What part of what I said earlier on did you not understand, Captain Kirk? Until this morning, no one had ever came to me, watch my lips, no one had ever came to me with a complaint about Anthony Farah that was proven or that had any substance whatsoever. I wasn't looking the other way. Looking the other way is when you know about something and you look the other way. But I don't work on hearsay, and that's a fact. So, type away as much as you like. But
hey, Arch, you missed the membership chat. I can't pull it up where I'm at right now.
This is from Faye Clegg, member for 4 months. Am I banned? Am I banned? Why did Paul? I banned you for being a smart ass shit. That's the reason I banned you. I didn't ban you. I timed you out for a couple minutes.
Yeah, you're banned
I
from
timed
my
you
channel
out
for persistent messages that are just boring as it gets.
Exactly. We've got a good guest. We have to be respectful for the guest. If you don't like the guest or don't like the integrity of the channel, don't watch. Don't watch. Okay? But to be antagonistic to you know how hard it is to get a quality guest like Mr. Thorpe on is fucking hard. And as Bear says, you are not banned. That's right. They're fake legs posting again. So obviously you're not banned. I just got a bit shitted off. I got to protect my panelists, okay?
Paul looks like he's a bit exhausted or he needs a good cigarette.
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
I'm going to have one. Do you know what? Just to say this to Faye Clegg, whoever that is, right? Listen,
yes.
The reason you get banned from channels is because you say the same thing and the same criticism time after time. Once is enough, twice is more than enough, and when you get into 4, 5, 6 times...
sorry, Faye Clegg was saying, why did you ban him on your channel? Sorry, from your channel, because he doesn't like him.
You're banned from my channel because you keep on and on.
That's exactly it. Paul, tell me this. This mess is not something that's going to be able to be resolved quickly. This is a long-going mess. When do you think we're going to get some closure? When are we going to see the real answer?
Well, I'm hoping.
Do we have? You've got 2 people. How many people are there?
As many as, you know, look, listen, I will report on what I've done today. I will do for every single person that comes forward to me and is willing to speak to me in person, because what I can't accept is an email complaint, because anyone can write that. We
need to have some proof. These are allegedly, you've got to be very, very careful, especially the defamation laws in the UK. Mookie, $4 super sticker. Thank you so much, Mookie, for that. Finchy, $5, £5. 4p, our good friend Saad is saving up for his first sports Rolex. After success in watch box biz, he's after a Milgauss. Which version would you recommend?
Is that blue?
The blue, yeah. I had that stolen. You know that, Paul? I miss the blue. It's a simple watch. And you know, the funny thing is, when I went on the live stream with Anthony, I wore my Milgauss. That was the watch I wore. Just a simple steel. Everyone said, what sort of, that's nothing special. Well, I tell you what, actually my Milgauss was stolen, but that was probably, you know, at least I owned mine, unlike some people. AD never calling, $50, Mr. Thorpe. We promises dinner, drinks, fellowship, and send you off with some killer Archie merch. Also, the invite is for you to cross the ocean, not bring the ocean. Some say he's not allowed in New York, but seriously, we'd love to have you. I'm
genuinely hoping to be there. Do you know one thing that's really upset me about all this bloody nonsense with Anthony? Yes. You know what I'm doing, Paul, with Digital Watchful, which is less than I think about 10 days away now from launch. What we've created with Digital Watchful will prevent all of this.
Hey, Paul, excuse me 1 second. Hey, Palway, if you keep that up, I timed you out. You got a wrench. I timed you out. You keep it up, I'm going to ban you for today. Okay? You just heard Archie say to keep it respectful, so take it easy.
We got another super chat here from our good friend, Mr. Zoso. Mr. Zoso, $5. Paul P and Paul T. Thoughts on the 5320G? Buy for hold off now. That's the perpetual calendar with the syringe hands. It's got the salmon dial. Look, I think if you really love that watch, buy it anytime. It's a very classical Patek. It's not a hype. It's not an Aquanaut or a Nautilus. It's just a very simple. It's a perpetual calendar, for fike's sake. You buy that because you love it.
I'd be looking to bargain hard now.
Bargain hard. You heard it from the expert. Bargain hard. Bargain hard and push for a good... Okay, there we go. Patel, Philippe, $5 Californian. Paul, 4p. I sent Archie a King Charles tea towel, but he said he doesn't like it and prefers Margaret Thatcher. Thank you so much. Paul, tell me this. What do you honestly think is going to come out of this there? Another one bites the dust. Another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. What can you say?
I don't see anything good coming from it, Paul.
Have you had anything to do with Marco? I remember his former partner at the Crescent in time. He's apparently doing quite well. They're doing well.
Do you know something? We actually, I've never met Marco.
No, interesting.
Never met him.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, did you see the videos that his former employees put out, Liz and Darby?
I've seen a bit of it. Someone sent it to me earlier on. I've watched the first.
What did they say? What did they say?
We'll probably play it once Paul's gone. I mean, give Paul a chance to do what he's doing here. They signed an NDA, but it's void. In their words, they said it's void because there's criminal activity. So that was the main gist of it. But we don't want to. We'll do that. There's a couple of videos we're going to play after Paul's gone to bring you up to speed, Archie.
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I don't want to hog the the show. I'm sure you got better things to do.
Paul, you are the show. You are. Go ahead, light up a cigarette. It's okay.
Please,
you are the show, Paul.
It's a great honor to have you on at this point in time because people look to leaders in the community, Paul, and you are definitely a leader in the community. And the community seeks guidance. Do you understand? The community seeks guidance.
It's very flattering, mate, but you know, your words, not mine. I don't know. What did I think of his office, Paul? His office was very nice, actually, to be fair. Very nicely done. He spent a lot of money in there.
Do you think he can come back from this shit storm?
No. No.
What did you really think of this marketing genius when he pulled the last stunt?
What, the one when he disappeared?
Yes, pretended to disappear.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid, to be fair. I didn't think anyone actually got hurt by it. I mean, it didn't do the grey market any favours, but I didn't really see anyone getting badly hurt. And to be honest with you, like, you know, the likes of myself and Rowan, we just sort of went, oh, what a prat, but left it at that. You know, it wasn't.
Box and Docks €2.50. He must have lost the money gambling. I've started to hear stories from people who have speculated that maybe Wizard lost his money gambling. Do you think that could be quite plausible?
Who knows, Paul? It's possible. You know, addictions are...
John C. Paul, are you attracted to Asian women? Paul Thorpe is happily married man. Yeah. He's not available, I'm afraid. He's out of the dating scene. I'm sorry. He's off market.
Yeah.
He's off market. Tell me this, Paul.
I'll be well past my sell-by date, so that's a good job I am.
Tell me this, Paul. The watch market itself, do you see this as being a serious problem, or how do you see this? What do you see this happening?
No, I don't think it's a serious problem, Paul. I mean, look, although this is a big deal to us because we are the watch community, the watch YouTube space, we still really only represent, you know, I don't know, I guess. Hey, Mike, how you doing? We still only represent probably a smidgen of the world's watch buyers, so I doubt it.
Yes. Tell me this. If you had consignment with him, what would you be doing now? If you had consignment with Timepiece Gentlemen, what would you be doing?
The same as the advice that I'd given the guys earlier. I'd give him 24 hours to return the money or the watch, or I'm going to report the watch as stolen and call the police. I don't really see there's much else that you can do.
Patel Philippe, $10. Paul Thorpe, I've paid to meet Archie in his father's ancestral British hometown of Southampton. Archie is excited to eat British specialities such as jellied eel, spotted dick. Sounds scrumptious. You betcha. Some good with some Yorkshire pud would be amazing. Some Yorkshire pud would be amazing. I've got to tell you, Paul, it's very sad. I find these videos incredibly sad because at the end of the day, it's easy for people, the trolls and that, to say, oh, he deserved it. He was a prick. I told you. He's had his come-uppance. The real victims, the real disaster here are the people who have given him consignment pieces who are seriously out of pocket. Now, the sad thing is, now this does not justify anything, but a lot of those people had money they could not afford to lose tied up in these watches that they have lost.
One of the people that I've been speaking to today, Paul, trust me when I tell you, I cannot afford to lose the money that's involved. But I think, you know, the really upsetting thing that this is now the second time that this has happened in our community in the last year, I guess, is it?
Yes.
And it's not good enough, Paul. You know, it's not good
What
enough.
we need is a dealers guild. A dealers guild. You know what I mean?
Well, that is what Digital Watch Vault is going to be, Paul. You know, this is
just terrible. I honestly, the problem is, Paul, in these tough times, you're not going to get high prices by selling it to a dealer because they're scared, right?
They're not buying. They're all consigning right now. Most of them are consigning.
And consigning, I've got to tell you the truth there. This is the drama. You've got to buy the seller, you got to be so careful. Look, I've made fuck ups. I'll tell you this now, Paul. I've done fucking stupid things in my I've trusted. I've had so many deals where I realized, hey, that guy's. I've given consignment myself, Paul. I've fucked things up, okay, and for the grace of God, I didn't lose any money, but you've got to be so careful. And this is the whole thing. Whether you're buying from David SW, 100% great guy. Bob's Watches, 100% great guy. In the UK, Spencer, BQ Watches. We've got his logo in the corner because we love him. Pride and Pinion with Nico. This is the time when you really deal with legit, honest people, because it's so sad. And I think this is the thing. You've got to remember, this is sad. The real sadness is the victims who have lost their money. Air King Sargon, $5. Just ensure your high value watches. No, but this is given on consignment. Insurance doesn't cover. Seriously, say your watch, you've given one on consignment to Timepiece Gentleman. Insurance doesn't cover because it's fraud. They don't cover that, do they, Paul?
Well, it
That's not
depends.
covered.
I mean, look, insurance companies will do their best to get out of, what they can get out of. Look, technically, Anthony should have.
Insurance doesn't cover stupidity. No. Remember that. Insurance does not cover stupidity.
They wanted more to insure my one Rolex than they did for my BMW per month. My insurance.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's exactly right, because you've got cover where it's covered if you leave the home. That's exactly right. NATO, $3. Mike, anything you'd like to say to Paul? Well, he's just said something. Paul, I want to just, I don't want to, if you're tired, I just want to ask you a few key hitting questions. How many pieces do you think this could be? How bad is it?
Put it this way, Paul, if it's deliberate,
yep,
it's going to run into multiple millions.
Okay.
If it's not deliberate, then it could be, let's hope it's a whole lot less. But I think if this has been planned, and I go back, I'm not accusing anyone, I'm just saying, if someone was planning to do this, they're going to make it worth their while. It's going to be a life-changing exit, isn't it?
Tell me, John C., $2. Mike, have you ever been with a French woman? We'll answer that as soon as we've finished with Paul. I just want to say to you,
that last super chat was actually towards me. I haven't been
We got to let Paul finish.
I just trying to. I don't want it to get too. Paul,
no, I was going to make it short.
You've already made it long, Mike.
You can make
You've
it
already
long
made it long, and you haven't answered it.
Yeah, once Paul leaves, you can make it long. Don't worry.
All right, whatever.
Paul, tell me this: the people who have lost out there, you've had two people come to you.
Yeah.
Big money. We're talking $500,000. It's fucked. If he doesn't have the money, doesn't have the watches, it's very, very fucked. To put it bluntly.
Here's the thing, Paul. Here's something that worries me.
His staff have left him. He doesn't have any staff now, does he?
Not as far as I know. But look, here's the thing that worries me, and this is a legal point that I'm not sure of because I don't know the US law. If these people willingly handed over these watches to Anthony, will they be able to report that as a theft, seeing as they handed them over willingly? I think what they're going to have to do is come together as a group to prove, ultimately, they would have to prove that this was a deliberate attempt to defraud them from their goods before it became criminal. That's my guess.
Make it a class action suit.
Yeah, I think in the UK, I don't think we're too dissimilar. I think if this happened in the UK, I think the police would just say, private matter, you gave it to him, you go sort it out, get a solicitor.
It's a civil matter. Civil matter. But go and engage a lawyer.
Yeah, if you can bring a group together that say, look, this guy has deliberately done this. He set out, it was done with the intention that would then become a criminal matter. And I think that is a very big point that we shouldn't look past. Was it deliberate? If it was deliberate, it becomes criminal, and then that's a different story.
Those two people you've spoken to, how bad is it for them?
For one guy, it's not pleasant. For the other guy.
So what does that mean? He'll go bankrupt?
No. For one guy, I think it's not going to be pleasant for him. It's it's not good. But we're talking about a steel and gold Submariner, right? So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
For the other gentleman,
a steel Submariner.
Steel and gold.
Steel and gold. Okay, two-tone. Yeah.
We're talking about a two-tone.
It's still a lot of money.
Still a lot of money, Paul. But the other person, we are talking about a life-changing amount of money that could ruin his family.
Yeah.
And, that is, that's a terrible.
Do you ever hate watches? You look at the people that are at tracks and this deception, and do you ever say, you know what, I love them, they're beautifully made, but I don't like this angst?
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, look, I've been involved in a few different things in my life, and look, wherever there's money, there's problems. Because people will always
wherever there is money, there is problems.
Yeah. Wherever, people will always get confused. They're confused.
See, it's not like the Baba, Mike. It's not like the Kali temple that you were at. See, at least they had peace there. They had some.
You got a member chat, Arch.
Member chat from Hoff on Smash. Member for 15 months. Consignors should contact FBI for interstate fraud. Good advice from Hoff on Smash. Patel Philippe got a super chat, $5 Californian, 4p. We've seen stuff like this a few times now this year. What's your opinion on how we can make this better? Consumer confidence with grey market dealers.
3 words. Digital watch vault.
There you go. Digital watch vault.
Hey, just on a side note, Paul, I wanted to let you know something. The grand opening that Spencer had, although there was maybe a bad apple or two, Archie had a good group of his own Archieverse people that were Gonzo streaming from there that were very happy. They were, had nothing but praise for Spencer for being so gracious to invite him there. They really liked the event. They Gonzo streamed actually on Archie's channel. So just because there was a couple of bad apple troublemakers doesn't mean that that it came from over here, because the guys from here, which was Dodger and I forget the other Muhammad Ali. There was ABC.
Yeah. So I saw Dodger at the weekend. He was up in Newcastle. Muhammad, great guy. I mean, look, they tried. I mean, it was the first show. Let's be honest, they could have done with another couple of weeks at least to get the venue finished.
It can't be easy. It can't be easy doing a build out in that short amount of time, especially in the where it was at too. So they're
very much so.
It's a big feat to pull off.
I think the next one will be even better, and it will get and it will continue to grow, and it will get better and better, and hopefully it won't be too long before.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that from Archie's side. So
yeah, definitely, yeah, of course, yeah. Paul is. We need to get Paul over again before time.
I got to tell you, Paul, it's a very, very sad situation. I'm part of me loved the Anthony Farris story. He was the ex. He had some criminal guy. They were minor charges. They weren't even. They were drink driving and stupid things like that. They weren't really that. They weren't murder, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And I loved his story.
Great way to set the bar, Archie.
Yeah, but he was always a bit cocky. You could see he was a cocky little fucker. But it's just so, the most horrible thing is, I don't want to say, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. But I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right here, Paul.
Well,
I don't want to be right.
Here's another funny thing, Paul, is that the first time I met Anthony in Miami was it last year or the year before? I can't even remember now. He was so the opposite as to what you see on the screen. Very, very humble, very polite. Called me sir. You know, I know that you American guys do that a lot, but we're not used to that in the UK.
No.
If someone calls you sir, that's the ultimate respect, you know. And, you know, he referred to me as sir. He was very polite. He paid his way. And honestly, look, I couldn't fault the guy, you know, when we met him in person. Everyone that met him said, wow, that's not what I expected. He was really humble, you know.
Yeah.
But maybe that was just...
I think, Paul, also what might have something to do with it is when he lost all sense of being monitored, because when he lost his ankle monitor, his alcohol drug patch, that kind of stuff, when you know, you got to mind your P's and Q's when you got that, because you never want to lose your freedom.
Yeah.
But then when you're given that freedom, again, you know, you're trusted to, okay, you lost it once. Now we're taking all these monitoring devices off of you. The leash is off. You got to play nice, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to end up back. And I mean, especially having the opportunity. I mean, do you know how many people come out of prison destitute, no family support, no nothing? So it was good to see a rags to riches so-called story, an underdog story. So it's a shame that once those devices came off, it seemed like he really, really went nuts.
Jar, we did answer it. We did answer that, and the reason is they just don't do business like that. Jar was saying, why can't they take photos? Well, because it's too fucking hard to sell them like that. If you've got somebody who you got to give it to the dealer then can negotiate, do things with it, and then ship it and sell it. They don't do it that way. It's like a car yard. You put a car on consignment. It's got to sit in the fucking yard. Otherwise, you miss out on sales. That's the reason, Jar. So, exactly. Patel Philippe, $5. Thorpe, I think the opposite is said when people meet AC3 in person. He surprises most donors paying for his breakfast when he eats his own weight in pancakes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patel Philippe. Paul, when are we going to hear what has happened? When is Timepiece Gentleman going to let you know what the reality is?
Well, you know, look, he tends, you know, the history with Anthony with me is when he replies, for some reason, it seems to come through in the middle of the night. And I think this is going to go one of two ways. I think he's going to speak with me and open up his heart, or tell me a load of lies, one of the two, whichever that is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or he's not going to reply to me at all, because I have gone public today. I have said the things that I needed to say, and he might not like it, and that's his prerogative. But, you know, I've given him the benefit of the doubt in the past. I've cut him slack in the past, and I've defended him in the past, but there is no defence. There's a lot of...
Tell me this, if Paul Thorpe was watching this video, what would you say to him now? What would you say to him, giving him some advice? What would you say?
Get whatever you've got, wherever those watches are, wherever the money is, whatever you have, even if it leaves you with not enough money to even eat, get those decent people their watches and their money back, because your reputation and your legacy for the rest of your life is on the line here. If it's not already too late, get the watches back, get the money back.
Paul, what time is it by you? 2 a.m.?
1 a.m. coming up. 1 a.m. Yeah,
that's not bad. Have another cigarette.
You know, he's cried wolf. He's cried wolf.
Yeah.
First of all, then, which greatly affected the gray market. Then, now this is the second big, you know, fandango theft thing that's happened. And I just got to say, like, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. But nobody really knows. But it's just like, wow, you know.
Do you know what, Mike? Do you know what, Mike? Honestly, I can truthfully tell you this: is that all of the guys, when you say there's no smoke without fire, that's a great analogy to give us, because we have looked for the fire in the past. We have looked for it. and we didn't find it. We didn't find any. We did see the smoke, but we couldn't find any fire. Today is the first time that someone's actually bought me fire.
We've got a super chat here from Thomas Burnett, £10. He's a member. Paul, you said this is a civil matter as far as prosecution goes. If watches were registered with DWV, how could that have helped? Would they just be registered or could it help prosecute?
Both. First of all, if they were registered within the digital watch vault, Anthony could not have taken legal ownership of those watches until the owner transferred that ownership to him or the new owner, which you wouldn't do until you've been paid.
It's like an escrow.
Pretty much, yeah. So basically, the legal retention of that watch. And the second thing is that if it was stolen, the moment it was stolen, it would go on the vault and he wouldn't be able to sell it to one anyway, because as soon as they checked, it would be stolen. So it would almost certainly put a stop to anything like this happening in the future.
Hey, Paul, just a quick question. Does a consignment agreement override that possession waiver you're talking about with the
No.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
No, because the digital watch vault gives you legal title to your watch, and that legal title can only be changed by the person that owns it. So the only way that someone could fall foul of that is if they were duped into passing that legal title before they've been paid. But that would be crazy. That would be like someone coming around to view your car and you saying, well, yeah, there's the keys, there's the logbook, off you go, and I hope to get paid. Nobody's going to do that, you know.
We got another super chat from Patel Philippe, $5. Archie, this story seems eerily similar to CNC Motorcar's story in the car community. Yeah, CNC was a big dealer in America who they had a lot of consignment stock was sold and title.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a fucking disaster. An absolute
I remember that.
fucking. They were a big dealer too. They were a big dealer.
No, they were huge.
And that was a very, very, very bad situation there. Paul, I don't know what to say. I got to tell you this. I so badly hope this hadn't have happened. This is so... The thing, please, guys, have some thought for the victims who are... And the problem is it's often the victims at the end of the Ponzi scheme who get hurt the worst.
So what I will say, Paul, what I will say is both the victims that I've spoken to have said that Anthony has been hugely apologetic and has promised them to do the right thing, but talks cheap. Let's see some action.
I think we should give him a second chance. What do you think, Mr. Thorpe? Maybe another second chance is in order. He's trying really hard. I mean, he is trying really hard, right? Everybody deserves a second chance. Why shouldn't we give him...
This is not a second chance. This is kind of beyond a joke, really. You know, it's beyond...
There's been
Air
a lot
Kings.
for a while, yeah.
Sargon, $5. With Chubb jewelry insurance, you're automatically covered for new purchases and for jewelry on loan or consignment. Fair point. I don't know the policy, but that's an interesting thing. And Ron Chef, £2. Paul, do you think this could be over 10 million?
It's
unlikely.
Possible. Unlikely, but it's possible. And as I said, it depends on if it was planned.
Oh, we haven't even seen if he owes taxes too. I mean, who knows? Who knows where this goes? You know, the good thing about airing it out like this is that at least now you could get some good pointers, get it out in the open, and you know, a lot of good advice on how to protect yourself. That's the main thing. That's why people go to the... I mean, it's like any business. If you have a high value item and you want to sell it and you want to minimize the risk, you go over to a broker or a gray market or digital watch vault, or you got to do everything you can to protect yourself, insure it, whatever it may be. Nobody wants to be out of pocket the sums of money like this. Jesus Christ.
Let's just have a bit of a state of the affair before we have to let you go, Mr. Thorpe, because I know it's getting very late. What time is it in the UK now?
It's coming up to 1 o'clock.
I want to ask you a couple key questions. His staff appear to have all left, correct?
It looks that way, yeah.
The shop, which is in Los Angeles, appears to be closed.
Well, the guy that told me he went there today and there was no one there.
Okay. It's not a public holiday in that place at all?
No, but the last time I went there, he wasn't there either.
Okay. The next thing is, has we heard anything on his Instagram? He's very much a social media kind of. Has anything been said?
I don't.
Nothing.
Paul, I've got to be honest. I
Nothing.
don't
There was a
follow
post on Instagram where he showed a airplane flight ticket to Texas. I think that was last. Is that the last one, Nicholas?
Correct. Yeah.
So he pinned himself so people could follow his flight, but it was a airplane ticket back to Texas.
Okay. Okay. Paul, if it has been just a complete disaster, he's had some theft, he's had some, maybe a little bit of mishandling of funds and a bit of personal gambling and a few other crazy things. What should he do? What should he do?
Like I said,
sell everything?
Yeah, my message is to Anthony is, Anthony, you know.
But can he work in the watch game then? He needs to desperately generate income. Who would hire him?
I think it's over, Paul. You know, it's over. I think unless there's a lot to come out that we don't know yet.
Well, I think, Paul. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, in any business, if your money, your reputation is as good as your money. So if he's got money, he could. I'm sure he can. I mean, no watch dealer is gonna pass up a sale if it's, you know, cash on delivery.
No, that's not true. They people would say, I don't want to fucking deal with you.
I think, Curly, it's now got to the point where a lot of dealers that I know would say, no, you're right, I'll give that a swerve, you know.
They don't want to be involved, Curly. They don't want to be involved in the least.
He could potentially still buy. You know, people won't necessarily turn down if he's offering good money and it's cash, and you know. But then, who's he going to sell to?
It's completely fucked, Paul. It's beyond the point of return. It's beyond. It's absolutely fucked. I'm sorry.
Well, that's the way I'm seeing it tonight, Paul. You know, look, I hope that Anthony gives me a call and that. The only problem that I have with it is he's asked me, he's told me that he doesn't want to do it on camera, but
fair enough.
But I'm going to have to refuse that, Paul. And
Why
I'll
is
tell
that?
you why. Because I don't want anyone to be able to misconstrue the message. You know, if I give you Anthony's message secondhand, that will leave me open to people saying, oh, you're doing this or you're doing that. I wanted to hear Anthony's words from the horse's mouth. I'll ask the questions. Anthony can answer them.
Yeah, he could tell you stuff off the record, but he has to face the music with you. That puts you in a bad spot. Right?
Yeah, you want that.
This is like a Hollywood actor who's off the rails, isn't it? Really, it's their own soap opera playing out here, and there's just carnage, victims, and damaged dreams, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, do what we can do.
No.
Right, guys, listen, I'm not going to hog your screens anymore.
Paul, it's been an honor to have you here, man. It's been an
Thank you very
absolute
much.
honor. Will you please keep us informed? We want to
Of course I will,
know.
Paul. Of course I will. Yeah.
Please tell us what happens there.
Yeah.
The digital watch vault, I'd also like to help you. I had a lot of people, there's some really nasty critics there. I want to tell you, I will be doing more interviews with Paul, and I think this idea is fantastic. And nobody's idea is perfect. Sure, there's always going to be people. It's so easy to be an armchair critic.
Yeah.
But at least Paul is trying something.
Paul, we'll win them over. I promise you, we'll win everyone over ultimately.
Yeah. Paul, thank you so much for coming. Get some sleep.
Good night, Mike. Good night, Nick.
Just a
Good night,
final
Curly.
message to
Good night, Paul. Thank you.
If he's watching, what would you say? Just one thing to say to him.
Sorry, mate. Say that again.
Timepiece gentleman, if he's watching, what's your one final piece of advice to him?
Do the right thing.
It's hard to do the right thing, though.
He knows what the right thing is to do. Nick, listen, mate, you're right. It is hard to do the right thing, but let me promise you something. The older you get, the more you realise that doing the right thing is actually more satisfying and more rewarding than doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
Yep,
And
that's the truth. Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yep.
Paul, thank
God
you
bless
so
you
much
all.
for coming on, man.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Paul.
care,
Have a good
everyone.
one.
And
Good to see you,
bye-bye.
Paul.
Thank
It's
you, guys.
always an honor to talk with you.
And you, Mike. Stay well, my friend. I hope you're well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I don't know what to say, guys. This is devastating news. Mike, what do you think of this shit?
I think it's bad for the watch community all the way around.
It's fucked. It's fucked. It's so
but
fucked.
Like I said, regarding TPG, he's already cried wolf. He's kind of played everybody, like in a number of ways. With
Don't get
this,
mad, Mike. Super chat. Don't get mad. We got two super chats, Mikey. I'm not
okay.
interrupting you. Don't get mad. We got two super chats. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hey, here we go. We got a super chat here from former backpack dealer, $2. Maybe timepiece Tony could have a tug-a-thon.
And you got Patel Philippe.
And Patel Philippe, $5. Okay, Archie, unlash the Kraken. Watch Nicholas interview time.
Do you want to pin the link? I'm sure Pelway wants to come up here and tell me about his sloppy Giuseppe.
I want to say something to Watch Nicholas here. Watch Nicholas. Watch Nicholas? Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I have bad connection. I can hear you though.
I'm really, really disappointed that you're right.
I know everybody is.
I don't, I'll be honest with you.
No.
You were tenacious. You were so after timepiece gentleman, and I am really devastated that you were right.
It's unfortunate. I know nobody wanted that.
I mean, did you really? What made you pick this guy? Was it just, hey, he's a soft target, I'll run with it to make some money?
I live in America, Archie. I live in America. The guy's not that far from me. I know for a fact he was a scammer. I'm not going to go after somebody with no facts. People can believe whatever they want, but I knew 2 years ago he was a scammer, and I tried explaining to people why. I went to everybody I could. I reached out to Paul Thorpe before I had a channel. I reached out to Paul Thorpe, and you know who I heard back from? Tim Wright emailed me back. He didn't even respond to me. I emailed Paul Thorpe, and then Tim Wright emailed me back regarding Anthony Ferrer. So, I mean, I'm not trying to rub it in or anything, but I've known from day one that he was a scammer. I mean, I've tried to explain that stuff. I don't remember all the evidence now. I mean, it's been a long time.
Do you think he had a legitimate business when he was at the Crescent
Probably.
in Dallas?
And he kind of did. I think it was a mix of legitimate and illegitimate, honestly. I think it's
Archie, he got the disease. You know what it's called? Going viral. He went viral, Arch.
It's
You got a super chat, Arch.
It's a really, here we go, super chat. Big Tony, $2. TPG was car crash TV. Yes, he was car crash television, but he did invent the genre. The day in the life of a dealer, he did invent that genre. That genre, I think he was the OG to that.
For watches, but I mean, he didn't invent reality TV. He did it
No,
watches.
but I mean, for watches, the day in the life of a dealer, and it
bought a watch, sold a watch. I mean, it's not that interesting, but yeah, he was the first guy to show that stuff for sure.
Now, tell me this, Watch Nicholas. What do you know that Paul Thorpe didn't tell us? What do you know more about this disaster?
A lot. Unfortunately, that's why I tried reaching out to him for over a year straight. I mean, I can't remember all the details to this.
Well, let's just go over in recent history. Yesterday at about 2 in the morning, my time, he got a lead for 2 TikTok videos that came out. That it was a customer that actually recorded Anthony on the phone. So that's how this all started. And Nicholas played it. He gave his commentary, and Paul Thorpe showed up on his chat, asked him for the link to the TikTok videos, which Nick sent him. And that's why Paul Thorpe did this follow-up. He did 2 videos today. So Nick broke it on his channel again, leading the way. And he played it and he commented on it. I don't know if he's got access to it now or if we're able to play it now, but it will probably open your eyes because you haven't seen it, Archie. And then today in the afternoon, he started a live stream because Tim Wright wouldn't cover it yesterday. He glossed it over. He actually was, he underplayed it. And then this afternoon, we got the video from his former employees breaking the what is it called, Nick? NDA?
Yeah, so I mean, so yeah, an NDA is not valid if you're doing illegal shit. I mean, no, at the end of the day, it's like Timmy doesn't want to give me or other Alliance people credit for this because it kind of makes them look bad. Like that's really all it is. So it's like it becomes a little petty thing with that.
Now he's got him and O'Sheen and OC and Buckley are all on the panel like they broke some fucking huge story that we did at. Unfortunately, it was 3 o'clock in the morning our time, but there are two videos that I think would open up your eyes, Archie, because it's Timepiece Gentleman on the other side of the phone, and it's a customer who's looking for his watches or money.
Oh, and he just says he doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money for it. Can't do it. Not going to happen, you know? So
yeah, that's how this all blew up, Arch. This all blew up last night. So you got a super chat, Arch.
Here we go. Super chat from Patel Philippe. Here we go. $5. Archie, I would like to give you credit for creating a day in the life of eating an entire seafood tower in one go. Okay, chihuahua. Chihuahua.
What the fuck is chihuahua? Ciao, ciao,
Ciao.
Goodbye in Italian. Ciao, ciao, Bella.
I got to tell you something. It's just so the staff, that was the video they released. The staff, Darby and
Today,
who was it?
They did one, yeah.
And Liz.
Yeah.
What does they say?
You could look up the. You could. Do you want to? I don't know what you want to play or what you don't want to play on your channel. So
yeah, no, that's okay. So what did they say? They basically said, "Hey, we got nothing to do with him now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, they kind of dipped out because remember when Timepiece Gentleman and Marco separated, they were deciding who do they go with, didn't they?
There was something like that. It's always hard to know, but yeah.
Do you think the biggest disaster was him moving to LA?
Probably helped him. The laws are a lot looser in California than they are in Texas. Probably a smart thing. If he's going to run a Ponzi, run it in California.
I don't know if he intentionally went there to do that. I really don't feel that with him.
It's like if you're too dumb to run a business and then it unintentionally becomes a Ponzi, maybe you shouldn't be running a business, you know?
Here we go. We got Toyota Mo, medium legend, $10. Watch Nick saved a lot of people from spending thousands of dollars with Timepiece Gentleman. The watch world owes a debt of gratitude for his services. Interesting comment there. And Dirk Diggler, $2. Arch, I missed Paul. Timepiece Gentleman owes you me.
Is that Mike? Mike, is that your picture?
That's the picture that we had up the other day. Someone's taken it and made
Mike,
him.
You got fans everywhere, Mike.
He's very good looking, Mike, there. And we've got another super chat from Patel Philippe, $10. Archie, now that we've established that Nick is actually a superhero and not a villain, much similar to the original story of Spider-Man, will Mr. GMT collect his dolls?
Arch, do you miss your bear? How much do you miss your bear, Arch?
I always miss bears. Look, it's good to have him having a break. I think a break is always a good thing.
I was very grateful he jumped on and watched Nicholas's channel last night. He kept me company.
Yeah.
He was my security bear, my huggy bear.
Yeah. It always, I got to tell you there, a lot of the, remember they had the camera guy, Darby, he gave him a Rolex, he gave this, he did that.
Gave him a brand new powder blue Corvette. Maybe that's why he went to LA with him, you know? I'd go to LA if somebody gave or leased me a blue Corvette.
Is it leased? What is it?
Of course it was. Everything he had was leased.
He didn't own anything, yeah.
Yeah, when you see I used to work for a company that expanded like he did, and it crashed because it was just all being expanded with money that wasn't really in hand. It was investors' money that wasn't like really being put back into production or the business. It was being put into expanding, renting buildings, making themselves appear bigger than they were, and then it crumbled on them because they weren't able
we have
to.
a great conspiracy theory super chat from Loose Tooth.
Loose Tooth, $10. Timepiece gentleman playing 4D chess, going to leverage two-party consent laws regarding TikTok videos in his favor and get all you Reddit trolls kicked off the tubes in one epic tug.
Archie, pin that
Members
link. Pin that
sushi.
StreamYard link. I need some sleep. I don't want to leave you up here hanging on your own, but I got to get some sleep.
Okie dokie. I've got
Let's
to tell
go, boys.
you guys.
Let's get some help for Archie up here. We need some panelists. Ross Rachel Brady, break out that medium ass. Jump on.
Medium ass, that's right there. I'm just getting it. I've got to tell you something. It's I think in many ways it's really sad what has happened there. You don't ever forget the victims. I mean, it makes good YouTube drama, but it's the victims who we really do need to have some sympathy for, because it's so. Watches are such an emotional thing. I've had my collection taken, stolen, and watches are such a personal thing. ABC, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Archie. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello, ABC.
Right. I want to say something. Right? I mean, I missed Paul Thorpe. Well, I caught him here and there. He's a cool guy, class guy, no doubt about it. But this is my question to everyone. If everyone rained down on him from the first time, or maybe, the first time he cocked up and screwed up, if everyone rained down on him, chased him out, would we be in this situation?
No, not at all. If we all listened with the Facebook thing that was like proof that he was some sort of scammer, obviously none of this would have happened, and a lot of people wouldn't be out of their watches. 100% right.
Yeah, so this thing about, I think this trade, especially when you're talking about so much money, you've got to be merciless. No second
Here we go. We got a
chances.
super chat from Basil's Beazles, $2. We need Mike's response about the French girl. Now, this super chat here, Mike. Sorry to cut you off there. We just had limited time with Paul. Now the question we had was the question. I'm just finding that super chat now. It was about Mike. Have you been with a French girl? Now, Mike, actually, I can tell you the story because I know the Mike the Snake story. He actually went to France as an exchange student after high school. He went there, and you were there. Here we go. John C. said, Mike, have you ever been with a French woman? Of course Mike has.
Not with her, like, in terms of all the way, but I did meet a beautiful French girl here in America before I went to France. And then when I went to France, she met me at the airport and took me on a tour of Paris. And we did kiss before I departed to Strasbourg. And so it was kind of a short-lived little romance, little French-American romance. It's kind of cool. I was just thinking about trying to communicate with her the other day, but shit. I mean, I was 16 at the time, so I mean,
that's cool.
50 years, to contact somebody after 50 years, it's like that's almost moot because people's that's almost two generations.
You said almost, so there's a chance. You have a members chat.
We've got a members chat here. We've got a members chat, and this one here is for 2 months. H has been a member for 2 months. He should have listened to Rudinator.
I just wanted to finish off my point, Arch, that when my dad was in the trade, it was brutal. Yeah, if you cock up with someone's money and you do not put it right, you can't show your face again. And that is how it's got to be. I'm sorry, this is still people's money. In fact, the watch industry, whatever, is worth more money. More people are putting their money into watches. The watches are getting more expensive. I think we've got to be harder.
There should be more scrutiny.
Yeah, and we've got to be harsh on those
Good point.
who,
Good point.
well, that Chris from Horology House, he wasn't allowed to screw up again because he made a $20,000 mistake.
Yeah.
Now, I've just got a question here from, this is one of the super chatters. He said, hello, it happened again to me. I paid a £5 super chat about consignment. That was not answered by yourself and Paul just now. Could I request a refund? Now, the way super chats work, they don't allow that because I don't know who has super chatted and who hasn't and what's happened with their payment. Now, however,
Archie, name who he is and ask him if he wants something else in return. Is there something else we could do?
Now, I think we did answer your question, but you didn't like the fucking answer. I think that's the situation. Now, let's have a look. He says, I paid a $5 super chat about consignment. Now, I fucking went over your question and I'm going to repeat it because in case you think I didn't cover it. Now, what his question, I think you're the guy who said, why don't you retain possession of your stuff if it's on consignment? And I remember that, here we go. I think I've just brought it up now. Due to consignment concerns, why can't owners hold their watch until a buyer is found prior to funds transferred when on consignment? Now, I answered this extensively twice, because you also made a comment in the chat saying I hadn't answered your question. What I said was they don't work that way. If you give it to a consignment, you've got to give it to the store or dealer. You can't retain possession of it. I would like to do the same thing, Jar. I would like to do the same thing, but they don't do that way. I was looking at selling some expensive items through a consignment store. I said, look, how about you put them on the net, but I can hold on to them because I don't trust you. And they said, if you don't trust us, just you sell it yourself. That's what they told me, to get fucked. And that's what I have tried to explain that answer to you. I explained that answer and said, this is what they don't operate like that. Now, how is that not answering your question? How is that not answering your question? They don't want to do that. They do not want to do that.
Ross, wave to me.
I know who it is. It's safe to let him on. I know who that is. Okay, It's safe. Patel Philippe, $10. Mike the Snake. Here we go. Mike the Snake. My friend Curly was asking me, and I thought you'd be the best to offer the best advice. Super lemon haze or sage and sour to help Curly not close all his tabs tonight and keep his chai centered.
Well, the super lemon haze is, I believe, if it's got haze in it, it's more of a sativa, more of a light, airy high. The other one is more of a knock you down, go to sleep, rest, relax, kind of effect.
You got it wrong. It's lemon kush. Lemon kush.
There's so many thousands of names, and people just rename shit willy nilly. There are no real.
Oh, don't get mad at me, Mike. Take it easy.
No, I'm not getting mad at you. I'm not mad.
You've been combative all night.
No, I haven't.
Kinda.
No.
Hey, remember, I'm one of your art piece buyers. Toyota Mo, super chat. Thank you, Patel Philippe.
Toyota Mo. Here we go there. We got a super chat for Toyota Mo, medium legend, $2. Only problem is ABC, there was no victims until now. Well, fair
I know who this is. It's President Clinton. Okay.
No, there were victims from the Facebook group. Bud the Stud was one of them. And
Bud the Stud also had a bad watch deal, too. Bad watch deal. Bud the Stud had a bad watch deal. You actually got
maybe
involved too, besides
maybe not
Nicholas.
to this scale, but see, look, any sniff of a bad odor, you've got to think, right, this guy, stay clear from him. Don't touch him with a barge pole.
Exactly.
And warn others. I believe in warning others against, people who, for example, borrow and never pay back. And they're saying, oh, that's not to do with you because he's never borrowed from you. No. Somebody is guilt tripping people into lending them money, and then when he chases them up, he makes them feel guilty again. No, I'm sorry. Just because he hasn't borrowed from me doesn't mean I won't warn against them.
We got another super chat here from brand new lover, $5. Archie, did he lose it on the pokey machines? I love pokey machines. I love you so. Ooh, pokey machines is probably the worst form of gambling. The funny thing is, remember he was in Vegas and he put it on red or black. He doesn't realize, what about 0 and 00? That's called the house advantage. That is the house advantage.
I got to be honest with you. These gray market dealers.
Mr. Zoso.
What's up, Zoso?
Wait, Mr. Z, let's get past. We got 3 super chats real quick, and then.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Neo, $2. Ross, give Mike the Snake a foot massage. And we've got Esteban Silver, $5. I want to know how many watches Archie put back into his collection since the robbery. I had 5, and I sold off the Maserati Daytona,
the best one,
and actually I had 6. Sorry, I had 6. I sold the Maserati Daytona and the Paddock. And the Grand Seiko I actually gave to my son. So it's obviously not my watch anymore. I have 4 watches, 4 remaining. And I'm thinking about actually selling one more.
Is what I'm saying wrong? Am I being too harsh?
£2. Mike the Snake, how was Pussy Patrol last night? # new shirt.
I looked quite dapper last night, but I escorted my mother to my brother's for a wonderful birthday dinner, and then took her home afterwards. And so I didn't go on the prowl.
We got Zeppy is back from outer space, $5. Welcome back, Zeppy.
Zeppy, $5. At the end of the day, Watch Nicholas long ago called out the tugboat Captain Rat. The watch community, in my opinion, owes Watch Nicholas a hefty debt of gratitude for all he does.
All I get is doxing and attacks, but thank you, Zeppy.
No, Nick, come on.
Look, it's fucking hard. What am I going to say?
You've got people standing up for you and supporting you as well.
Archie, you're in good hands. I have to get a little bit of sleep. I'm going to take a little nap.
Good night, Curly. We love
right,
you.
back,
all right. Good night, gentlemen. Talk to you later.
So yeah, am I being harsh? Am I being out of order? Am I overreacting?
Absolutely not. No, ABC, you're not. This whole bullshit Mazal thing, and you do business on my word and I vouch for you, is fucking bullshit in the real world. Okay? Nobody does business, half-ass fucking bullshit business like that. Fuck you. If you don't have the money, fuck you. Okay? That's how we do. That's business. Either that or these guys suck at what they do. They're fucking horrible. I'm not giving anybody that kind of money. No fucking way. And if you're proud of it and you're bragging about it, well, you're a sucker. You don't know how to do business. You could go around on YouTube and brag about your millions of dollars and how much your company is worth. You're a fucking idiot. That is not the way to do business. Okay? I don't fucking vouch for you for nothing. 0.
And they shouldn't be given second chance.
Either you do the right thing, okay, and you pay up at the time you're supposed to, or you're dead to me. Period.
Yeah, you never show your face again.
You're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. Okay? Life lesson. Period. End of
and
discussion.
warn against them. Feel free to warn against them.
100%. Of course. Here's how you warn against them. You never do business with them again. That's how you warn against them. You're not throwing around somebody's name for $500,000 worth of shit. Doesn't work. And if you do, you're a fool. You're a fool. This is not the proper way to do business. And if you're conducting your business that way, you suck at it. I don't care how much money you think you're worth. All right? You suck at what you do.
100%.
I'm not going to take your fucking word for anything. This is my business we're talking about here. I got people who I need to take care of, who I'm responsible for. Okay? I have to make payroll. I have to make a profit. I have to do the right thing by my customers. I don't have time to play fucking games with some jerk job who's dealing out of his backpack. Fuck that.
Backpack.
No,
Ross,
there's just no way
Rachel
to
Brady
do business.
super chat.
I can't see anything. So.
Okay, Ross, Rachel Brady, $4. Let me read it quickly. Mr. Z, have you ever thought of doing motivational speaking?
Well, I kind of do for a living, to be honest with you, but not in the sense
Oh,
that we
there
do
you
here.
go.
Not in the sense here that we do on YouTube, so it's a little different. But the truth be told, look, this is Fantasy Island here. You wind up with virtually homeless people who have a camera, and they project an image on this fake platform that we have. And I would have liked to ask Paul Thorpe some questions about the business and how he did business. It's so different today because you have a worldwide platform, that as compared to a shop on a corner, which I assume Paul had, and the way he ran his business, and maybe the way your dad ran his business, ABC, right? So you had your reputation and you had nothing else. You had
Exactly,
nothing
yeah.
else. So, that's all you have. So, how far can you go? I can't imagine. And it happens all the time in business. It's not a rare thing. But how you get caught and how you get fucked in any business is conducting business this way. I hear guys talking about how much money they lost, how many times they got fucked. Well, you know what? You suck. You suck at what you do. Okay? I'm never getting caught. I'm never getting fucked because I do everything the right way. It just doesn't happen. You don't leave a door open for somebody to fuck you. That's how you stop that from happening. I don't want to watch fake videos of guys on the phone talking about how they got beat out of $150,000 on a watch deal. You didn't get beat. You let yourself susceptible. They didn't beat you. You beat you. It's your fault.
I have to agree with you. As much as I don't like what you're saying, Mr. Zoso, you are right.
Archie, you wouldn't do business that way.
Oh, I have done stupid things. Believe you me, I've fucking done silly things, and I look at it and think, fuck, that was stupid. I'm so lucky I didn't get ripped off.
Are you sending somebody Are you sending somebody $100,000 watch on the vouch? Is that ever going to happen in your world?
No, but
No.
let me just say,
Of course
it's easy to lose sight of how much money is involved. Let me grab these super chats. Patel Philippe, $5. Archie, I booked you an appointment with Ron the Shrink after Paul Thorpe said you'd need to see a psychiatrist if you traded a Patek for a Grand Seiko. It was the thing is, can I say this? Actually, that's a spring drive as your avatar.
I love it.
It's the sweep hand. Have you seen the sweep on a spring
it's
drive?
mesmerizing.
It's like it's the most. I'll talk to you about it.
It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic, isn't it?
Dirk Diggler, $2. Mike, did your mother pay for dinner? No, he went to his brother's house for dinner, And Dirk Diggler, $2. Mr. Zoso, watch your heart rate, man. Yeah, we're scared of you getting a bit of a heart rate problem there. What? Ross Rachel Brady, $5. Mr. Z, have you ever thought about doing motivational speaking? You are a leader. Mr. Zoso is a leader, a community leader, businessman, salesman extraordinaire. You could be brilliant on the motivational circuit. The thing is, he's too busy working to actually do that sort of shit. Madman, $10. Spoken like a true Maserati blue boss. You betcha.
That's my brother right there. That's
Absolutely.
my Maserati Blue Dial Daytona brother. We're bluesy brothers. Maserati Blue Brothers. You still have your bluesy, right, Arch?
Yes, that's exactly right there.
Did I lose you?
It's,
I saw a 19 bluesy box and
Yes.
papers for
Yep.
for 14.2.
Wow. Good buying.
That's crazy. It's a good buy. That's a great
Yeah.
fucking buy if you're in the market. I watch.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bargain.
Yeah. It's a great
Matt
watch for the
P.
money. It's a lot of bang for the buck.
Matt
Super chat,
P. Do
Matt
you still
P.
have the Maserati dial? But yes, you do. Of course, he does. Matt P. $5. It's fair to say that the general watch buying public are sick and tired of all this bullshit. Is it any wonder why it's so hard to get stuff from ADs?
Well, with the amount of money, I agree. I mean, with the amount of money that's being thrown around here, it amazes me the greed of people and how susceptible they are. You know, you get a guy who's sitting in his fucking basement in Canada, and he's telling you that he's going to get you a watch that sells on the gray market for $18,000 to $25,000, and he's going to get it from Omega for list. You just have to pre-order it with him.
Now, guys,
What
I've
kind of
actually
fucking
got.
magic does this guy possess?
Do you want to see
know?
the video? Do you want to see the video from Darby talking about Timepiece Gentleman? Do you want to see it?
Okay.
I can bring a bit up of it
Whatever
up
you
if you
got
want to see it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Sure.
Do you want to see it? Okay, so this is the one that Darby has. This is the guy who did the video production for Timepiece Gentleman. Let's have a look.
Well, I'm sure this is a video a lot of you have been waiting for out. I'll try to make it short and to the point, and kind of give you a better understanding of our involvement with TPG and give you the truth about our involvement and stand now with the Timepiece Gentleman. I hope everybody watching this video listens and takes in what I'm saying and doesn't try to twist my words. And here's the actual truth. Were we aware that Anthony had debt? The short answer is yes, we knew he had some debt, but we were told that it was through various lenders, silent investors, friends who he had borrowed money from. There's nothing wrong with debt when there's a mutual agreement between both parties of how and when said debt will be paid back. And while it's not the best position for, a small business to be in, and it is a little alarming, it wasn't what we learned the truth to actually be. A couple months ago, Anthony called Liz and I into his office, and he had us sign NDAs or non-disclosure agreements. After signing, Anthony set us at the table and proceeded to lay out that he owed consignees money to the tune of $3.5 million. I don't think anyone knows the real number, honestly, but Anthony. He said the reason he had to sign these NDAs was so that we wouldn't say anything and he'd be able to work and actually be able to pay these people back, because if he can't work, no one will get paid and no one will get their money back, and everyone's. Obviously, Liz and I were very alarmed by this information and immediately started to disassociate ourselves with TPG. And during this time, you probably also noticed that the YouTube videos stopped. We ceased to make them because Liz and I were trying to figure out our own route and game plan and start our own business and detach. And I will say, like, us being 1099 employees, meaning we're contractors, we're not W-2 employees. So we work for ourselves, but our labor is contracted with TPG. And in being a 1099 contractor, we didn't run the books or see finances. It wasn't in our scope of work. I was the videographer and Liz did shipping. And only after consulting an attorney did I feel comfortable coming on video and telling you guys the actual truth. We didn't make the videos sooner because we didn't understand that an NDA is not valid if the party you signed with is doing illegal activities. And we understand that no matter what we say or do at this point, there will be fallout, and we're preparing to deal with that the best we can. But we just want to make it clear that Rebel Lux LA is in no way affiliated with the Time Beast Gentlemen. It is solely Liz and I's company that we started together. And for all the people that have supported Liz and I through all this, we really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. And it doesn't go unnoticed, and we do appreciate y'all. And we know there will be people who dislike us simply for being previously involved with TPG. And, we just hope to showcase our authentic selves through our videos, that we're just trying to establish a good, honest business and, do things the right way. Our hope is just through doing honest and good business and putting ourselves out there for you guys to see and being our authentic selves, that you guys can see that we are good people and just trying to make an honest living while trying to move on from a pretty shitty situation. Like I said, guys, I kind of wanted to keep this video short and to the point, but we are thinking about putting out a second video, kind of better laying out the timeline of events and giving you a more solid understanding of just that, the timeline of the events. But for now, like I said, I'm going to keep this video short. And thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you in the next videos. Thanks, guys.
What do you think of that, guys? Holy fuck.
Said it like it is.
So that's Darby. I always liked Darby. Like Darby?
Hey, guys, I hope today is treated.
I like Darby.
Seems good enough, guy.
He's kind of handsome.
Yeah. I suppose you could say that.
Do you want to show Liz to Ross?
Yeah, we could get Liz. So Liz, sourced, sold, and closed. Our first. What business are they? What sort of car is that she's driving? What car is she driving?
Stacking up my chips, I bet it. You've been on a car ride, huh? You excited?
It's a Mercedes.
For the day?
Oh, they got a dog in a Mercedes. Fuck me dead. Don't do that. Don't. I can't watch it. I can't watch this
What do you
anymore.
think, Ross? What do you think? What do you think?
She's hot.
Would you have a dog in a Mercedes, Mike? Mike! A dog in a Mercedes? Fuck!
That's not something I do on a regular basis, that's for sure.
I'd like to be that dog.
Oh, that's a good one.
Toyota Mo, $5. So this guy is telling us after years of making videos, he didn't notice anything wrong until 3 months ago. He didn't know.
There's an old, I think it's a Greek saying, the fish stinks from the head down.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, especially when you've got bills to pay and family to support. And it probably got to a point where they thought, you know what, we don't have a future and we've got to get other jobs elsewhere. And then they left. That's what I think happened.
So, hey, Danny, what do you think of that? A dog in a Mercedes. I don't like
I won't
this.
be bothered. Not bothered in a Ferrari.
Downtown. Also, while we're down there, I need to find some coffins. I also need like baggies and stuff for links and whatnot. Once we get the watch pasta, need to take that back over to West Hollywood. I don't know if that shipped out.
Just on the job site.
I was just calling you.
RV post, we made our first sale. I was like, shit. I want to be
Archie, is there a part where she drives off the people?
I can always be your top.
I don't know if I approve. They're driving a Mercedes with. dogs. Why would you keep a dog in the car?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Actually, you've not owned a dog, have you? So you don't understand. Having a dog's like having part of your family. Mikey will understand it.
Mike, what do you think? Mike, what do you think of it?
You don't even let your wife put her shoes on in your car, do you?
Top 5, top.
No. What's it doing?
Like on Mondays.
Mike, what do you think?
On point.
About what? What do I think about what?
Man, I told
The
him, I was
lady.
like, you need to take those leaks
I think
out of that
she's
bag with those
Alright.
freaking tags. Yeah.
I got like the leak bags.
Perfect. Yeah, I used to have these.
I don't like Mikey sat down then went combat council.
What's up, dude?
Yo.
Hello. How you doing?
If you guys want to take a little tour,
Yeah, let's go.
Take your shoes off, or you can put the booties on. The staging came up.
Look at Ross's little excited face.
I don't know what to say there. So that's okay. So what did they do exactly? That's their new plate. I don't get it. I don't understand this stuff. Oh my God! Who we got here? We got Sir E. What do you think, Sir E? What do you think of this whole disaster that's blown up?
Oh, I couldn't give a shit, mate. It doesn't make any difference to my life.
No. Would you ever put watches on consignment?
Yeah. I would, yeah.
I suppose you've
But
got no choice
obviously
if you want to get.
people you trust, right? People you've
Yeah,
dealt with before.
The consignment I put them on, it's with a mate that I know very well.
Yes.
And you know where he lives very well as well.
What are you wearing
Gentlemen, I'll
today,
be
Danny?
departing. Have a great night.
Sorry, Mr. Zoso. Mr. Zoso, what do you think? What do you think? Just to finally wrap it up, what do you think, Mr. Zoso? Is that the end of Timepiece, gentlemen? Is it over?
Gosh, it's over.
I can't imagine anybody doing business with him. I mean, any sane person. But is it the end of him? No, he's going to live on and find something else to do. Maybe he'll make videos about.
Would you give him a
fucking
job?
people. No.
He has no credibility, really, does he?
What about pot washer in a restaurant? Come on, you can do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zoso. It's been an honor to have you on this very
Gotta
hectic
go,
day.
gents. Have a good night.
See you
Good night,
soon.
Mr. D.
And we got Ross, Rachel. He's there.
Yeah.
So who's the other Ross?
Ross.
I think Toyota Mo made a good point. So you're telling us after 3 months he didn't notice anything. So after making videos for years, he didn't notice anything wrong until 3 months ago.
No, I think you don't bite the hand that feeds you, especially when these are your employers, they pay you, and it probably got to the point where they realized they weren't going to be paid anymore because business is going to fall on its ass, and then they thought, right, ship out. Are there two Rosses on here?
Yeah.
Nice Ross, these large ass Ross, these bally Ross, these there's bumping dicks together Ross, there's Yeah.
Ross, who's your favourite character on the show?
My favorite character in the show.
Who's your favourite character?
I really like Mike the Snake.
I like Mike.
I like Mike the Snake. Yeah, I like.
And we've got another super chat here. Oh, sorry, that's the super chats. I got to tell you something. My favorite character, Mike. Mike is a great guy. I love the Snake. He's just nice, relaxed dude. We got a super chat from John C. $2. Timepiece gentleman just released a video 3 minutes ago. Pull it up.
Are we allowed to pull it up, or
I'll have a look first. Let's see
is
what
there a
he's.
threatened strike?
No, he doesn't. Let's have a look. What's come up? I'm just checking.
Because look, I've got to say one thing. At one point,
there's not one that's come up. I don't see any video for him. Sorry.
Sorry, Arch. They got to the point where, any publicity is good publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. That's bullcrap.
Who's this double imposter Ross the Brady in bottom corner?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there is a video. Let's get this video up now. We'll just have a look.
Yeah.
I'm a watch dealer. I'm a watch dealer. I give
Let's
people
just have a look.
jobs.
Let's just have a look here and see what he says, okay?
Rose gold nautilus.
All right, everybody. I think it's time I finally put out a video and address everything that's going on. These last few days have been a large amount of, just stuff coming out and
shit.
Yeah. I can't hide from it any longer. I can't just avoid it. I have to, talk about it. I wanted to give it some time to kind of sink in and just see what was going to happen. But, the first thing I have to say is that this message is meant for my clients that are directly involved. It's for the dealers that are involved. It's for, my friends that are going to be affected, my former employees, people in the watch industry that are going to be directly affected by my actions. I know my words don't mean anything right now, but I really am genuinely sorry. Just to talk about the first thing that popped up, which is that text message that I sent out to a few clients. That is a real text message. That is something that I sent. And I sent that, because life just hasn't been fun lately. Like the message said, I've battled with demons and
I think he seems quite serious in this. What do you reckon, guys?
Should bloody hope so.
I've let stuff get the best of me, and I've made a lot of bad decisions. I made a lot of dumb mistakes. I even lied in that message about a robbery, hoping to cover it up even more.
Fake robbery!
Hey, what about the fake robbery?
It's gotten to where just living this fake lifestyle, this look at me, I'm smart, I'm successful, keeping up the appearances. It's eating me alive. I drink every night just to be able
what about when you masturbate your
friends,
CPG?
I've lied to my employees, I've lied to my clients, I've lied to my friends, I've lied to my peers. And it was all keeping up this facade.
You lied to your face.
I respect you, TPG. I respect you.
Not being willing to admit that I made mistakes very early on. I'll admit it. I got a little taste of success and never wanted to forget that feeling. So when I did make dumb decisions, I would write them off or I wouldn't address them, because if I addressed something I did that didn't work, then to me that was admitting failure, and my ego was too big. My personality didn't want that to happen. I didn't want people thinking I was a failure. I didn't want people thinking I was a fraud, a fake. I got accustomed to this lifestyle, and getting that type of attention, it ruined me. I built a hell of a business when I was sober, and I made some little mistakes when I was in Dallas, and part of my past came back to haunt me. So not to say that that's the cause of it. The stuff I did was wrong. Spending people's money, living above my means, living this flex lifestyle, all that stuff was wrong. But
why is he looking for pity? He's just a cunt.
$10,000 backlash that I've
He's
gotten.
fucking rob people, and
I'm not blaming it on that, but it is hard. It is a stressor, and I deal with it, and I do my best to keep it suppressed and pretend like it doesn't bother me, but it does. I've gone on my little tyrants where I respond to haters on social media, and I'm getting carried off. I'm getting carried away, but you know,
Boogie got carried away with
that
money.
message was real. The voice
Yeah, you didn't get carried away
recording was
spending
real. That
10
was me
grand on
talking to
steaks, right?
Okay, just hang on 1 minute there. Eric L, member for 9 months. Projection controls perception. Phony. Thank you, Eric L. Okay, let's just see if we can cut to the chase with this guy.
and it's a $5 million hole. Yes, it's true. I'm $5 million in debt.
Fuck.
You know, about $3 million of that debt is to two big clients of mine. One who acted as an investor, and I used his money to fund my lifestyle. The other who I'll just leave it at that. I owe two big people $3 million. I owe a lot of small people a collective $2 million for watches that I sold. And you know, I can't take that back. I can't lie about it. But me reaching out to the client to talk about it was because I didn't know who I can trust. I didn't know who I could vent to or talk about it to, but I knew that I just didn't want to hold it in anymore. Like I'm tired of living this lie. I'm tired of the person that I was becoming. You know, I wasn't happy. I haven't been happy for a long time, but I've been putting on this facade like everything's great and everything's perfect. And look at me, I drive a Lambo and my life's amazing. And it's all a lie. It's all fake. Like, I fucking hate it. You know, that's what it's gotten to. And you know, could I have kept this lie up for a little while longer? Probably. And I'm not proud of that. And I never meant to hurt anybody. And, you know, my mistakes are what dug this hole deeper and deeper and deeper to the point where if I don't stop it, I'm not going to get out. It's going to get so big that it's irreparable.
Why 5 mil big enough?
Admitting those kind of things, like it was the hardest thing. It was the most embarrassing thing. Like I said, it's hard for someone like me to admit failure, to admit defeat, to admit that I'm an alcoholic, or I have a drug problem, or I have a gambling problem, or I have a spending problem, or I've wasted money on cocaine and hookers and nights out in Vegas and just dumb shit, living this fake lifestyle to impress people that don't really care. You know, that's who I've become, and I hate it. I drink myself to sleep every night to be able to, you know, just to get
fucking Stella Rothschilds are fucking not bad.
This last week and a half since this stuff started coming out is where it's my breaking point. This is a rock bottom for me. Like this feeling like this is worse than sitting in a prison cell, which is where, you know, I may end up. I don't know. You know, I was hoping that by talking to a couple of people about this and sending a message out to clients, you know, I understand I've hurt a lot of people and I've screwed a lot of people. But my idea wasn't to, you know, get away from it. It was to accept it and own what I've done and start trying. Like
Mike screwed a lot of people in the right way, though.
I can't change what I've done, but I also don't want to hide from it. I don't want to lie about it anymore. I don't want to.
How long does it go on?
Thing I'll say is that
it looks
it's just a narcissistic thing to just go on
leaving as
ages,
started to
expecting
come out
people to have
was
sympathy
the smartest decision they could have made, which
team
was
leaving,
to separate themselves from the chaos that I have created.
Anyway, let's welcome our newly joined guest. I think he's been waiting long enough, listening to this bullshit.
We got Ronnie Paul,
Mr. Thorpe.
Ronnie Paul. How are you, Ronnie Paul?
Archie, this is a disaster.
A car talking Canuck.
I just want to hang on. Let me just finish. I just want to repeat this little bit here. This little snippet here we got.
Yeah, sure.
I don't expect any forgiveness, but like I said in my initial message, I'm not hiding from this. I'm not turning my social media off. I'm not going to file bankruptcy. I'm not going to leave the.
He's $5 million in the hole. I don't think it's his choice whether he goes bankrupt or not. His creditors will push him into it. He's got no choice.
Country. I'm not going to do any of those things.
How's he going to pay back 5 big ones?
He's not going to be able to pay that back.
I'm going to make them all, man.
Again, I didn't anticipate it getting this big. and I didn't anticipate it blowing up this fast. And maybe that's part of my problem is I don't anticipate stuff. I don't anticipate the worst. I just hope for the best on everything. And that's still true to today. I don't know what the worst has to come. I don't know what not be able to do any business anywhere. I don't know. I'm going to do my best to fix it. Hopefully I
How can he fix it?
I don't know. I honestly
already just said
We win the lottery and pay him back.
I'm gonna opportunity, then I'm just gonna take life as it is and accept whatever my fate is. But to all those of you that really are truly involved that I haven't already spoken with, you have my word that as long as I'm around, I will do my best to get you made whole. That's all I got right now.
Fucking hell.
You heard that Darby posted up a video too. It's about 5 minutes long.
Yes, we played it. We played it. Yeah, fuck. And we got Timely Behavior joining us. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, we just had a big, huge blow up today. Timepiece Gentleman has imploded. He's admitted to owing $5 million. That's US. Do you know what that's for Aussies is?
5 what? Close to 6.5, 7.
8 million? No, is it not as much as 8?
Friggin' hell. He just goes from good to great, doesn't he?
It's incredible. It's incredible.
He's a watch dealer. Gives people
7.56 Australian.
Danny, I'll put your watch on consignment. I'll put it in my backpack.
And then I'll lose
safe there.
You go, mental jock, $18 AED. Here, Farah, yeah, wee rat.
Yeah, fucking wee rat.
Here is the tissue for you to dry your eyes, you sea scammer. There we go. Thank you. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
He's not going to be able to dig himself out of this hole. I mean, in order for him to get out of the hole to sell stuff, someone has to give him stuff to sell, right? I mean, who's going to sell to this guy?
Well, and to be honest, it's a very expensive hole to try and get his way out of, too.
I mean, I thought $1 million would be unfixable. He makes the wizard. He makes wizard. He makes wizard look like. I don't know what to say.
He makes wizard look like a friggin' altar boy. Let's
5 million. Okay, so the investor. I mean, the truth is, you'd say the investor that was bloody stupid to put all that money with him, isn't it? That's what you would say.
Yep.
There's another investor.
What's that noise? Are you printing something, Archie?
It's like
who's that? No, it's not me.
Someone 3D printing something?
I can hear someone going.
It's what's his name? The 3D prints and watches.
Fake Ross.
Oh, the fake Ross. Yeah.
There we go.
Ronnie Paul, I don't see how he can get out. See, the thing is, I like the way he comes on there and says, I'm not filing for bankruptcy. No, you don't understand. When you owe $5 million, it's not for you to decide. Your creditors will file to get you bankrupt. Do you understand? That's how
it's not by choice.
He should be more concerned about whether or not he's going to jail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get out of this one.
I don't know whether he would go to jail for going bankrupt.
Well,
the biggest problem is the consignment watches like that. But even that,
but, he has to in order to file for bankruptcy. It kind of has to be in good faith, and he'd have to declare it, and the courts would have to determine whether or not they'd actually allow him to do that. And if they were to watch what he does, they're going to clearly see it was fraudulent activity, and they'll probably deny that.
No, but it's not hard to go bankrupt. I mean, he says he's going to make good. How do you make good on five? I mean, do people
it's all bullshit.
Do people earn $5 million in a lifetime?
Arch, he went hard and fast. Either it comes together and he makes something out of it, or it goes bust and he files for bankruptcy and oh well.
I don't know what to say, really. I can't see how you get out of that sort of hole.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, the funny thing is, I went on his stream years ago, and everyone laughed at me because I had the shittiest watch. I had a Milgauss. Is there anything
that's right.
shitty about a Milgauss?
They were laughing at a Z Blue.
You got more money. You got more capital than he does.
Yes, I could buy and sell him million times over.
Archie, he's like the Sam Bankman-Fried of the watch community.
Yes.
It's pretty much what he is.
But he had such a massive ego, don't you? You know, that's the thing. He had massive ego, massive.
You know, I'm sure at one time he was doing well. I mean, I was a big fan of his too when he had first started doing a channel 3 years ago. I mean, it was good content. He had it structured.
I know
properly.
he was the
It
first
fantastic.
one a day.
Yeah.
We got a super chat from Mobster, $2. Can we hire SD to break Anthony's kneecaps? I don't think violence is going to really. I don't think violence is ever the answer, to be honest. As much as you'd like to do that, is that really the answer?
That's not going to get anything back.
It's like with me, like with my burglary. I'm very disappointed and upset. And somebody said something very important to me. They said, you know what? These burglars have no empathy. They're psychopaths.
It's true.
Mike, you let your hair down.
And in
Mike,
all honesty,
you got your hair out.
It's just the gel I use.
I got to tell you, in all honesty, seriously, you know what? That's not going to do anything. I don't think that's ever the answer. I got to be honest with you. With him, $5 million in the hole. If he had $500,000, you could say, well, he's going to ply out of it. $500,000? What do you think?
I think if he had $500,000, he would have left the country.
No, but look, Wizard. How much does Wizard owe? 100 grand? 200 grand?
But is he actually paying on that?
Man.
I got an apartment in Hong Kong for 12 million.
I don't know, but if I was this guy, I'd be packing my Christopher Skase case and heading to somewhere like Belize.
Right, guys, I've got to go. It's getting late, but always good to chew the fat with you guys.
Hey, ABC, it's been an
party, bro.
honor to have you on, man. It's
bro.
By the way, I want to talk to you, Grand Seikos. Can we do a Grand Seiko talk soon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Why
I'd
actually
love
you the old one?
I gave it to my son, but it
Hey.
is a beautiful. I got to tell you, I'd love that watch. That watch is beautiful. It is very beautiful.
Right,
I got to
see
tell
you later, guys.
See you later.
See you,
Ciao,
brother
ciao.
one.
I got to tell you something, Ronnie Paul. It's these fly-by-nighters. They live so far above themselves there. It's they think their shit doesn't stink. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think I can't see how. Hey, there's no way in the world you get out of a $5 million hole. Even in The Gambler, you know, The Gambler. He wasn't that far in the hole. You know, the movie The Gambler.
Yeah.
Every idiot knows if you're 2.5 million up, you buy yourself a house with a 30-year roof, a Japanese eco shitbox.
Well, what's interesting, Archie, is that you kind of called him out on his BS 3 years ago, eh? And then Watch Nicholas was also calling him out on it, and I remember him getting a lot of attacks for personal attacks for doing so, death threats and what have you, and he was right too. So I don't know.
Don't worry about it. You got a vacuum cleaner out of the deal anyway. Fuck him.
The Victor.
Remember that?
You got a vacuum cleaner out of the deal?
Yeah, he went on the show, and then a lot of super chats because of Anthony Farrow issues, and put it towards getting yourself a nice vacuum. Remember?
Yes.
Archie,
about it.
did you save a copy of that show yourself or no?
Which shows that?
The one when you were on it. When you were on it with Roman Sharp and Eric, Watch Eric was on it.
No, I didn't.
You didn't save a copy, eh? It would have been great
Nah,
if you did.
Fucked. I can't be fucked, you know. I kind of look. That's when I decided not to go on other people's shows like that. I just thought this is a complete.
I think you held your own.
Time.
You held your own.
I got to tell you something. This whole hobby and that there, you look at these excesses, it really makes you wonder if this is fake and phony. You know, I'll tell you one thing for sure is a fancy car. I don't have a Lamborghini or anything like that. They keep you poor. They really, Ronnie, Paul, even your car. Well, your car is perfect. That keeps you poor too, doesn't it?
Sure.
You think about
there's insurance on it, the gasoline. You know how much I'm paying for a liter of gas now?
How much is a liter of gas?
$2.10.
That's about the same as Australia.
Yeah, I need 73 liters of it. So usually when I go for a fill up, I'm looking between $105 and $110 for a fill up.
Super chat, Arch.
Super chat. We got a super chat here, and this is from Dirk Diggler. Dirk Diggler says, Arch did the math for you. If he does $100 tricks, he would have to do 50,000 tricks.
Well, let's think about that.
Either straight jackhammer time.
Let's think about that. You were mentioning this yesterday on your show. I saw you were talking about how many hand jobs he'd have to perform in order to work that off.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. If he had to do that, would it make a difference if he were to be wearing an Omega or a Rolex or a Patek while he's doing it?
I don't think so.
Look, I tell you honestly, it's look. Jokes aside, I think it's really sad for the victims. I think the worst victims is the people who've sent him a watch, thinking, "Hey, he's cool. He's on the YouTube."
Well,
people like Ronnie Paul. You know, you send him a couple watches to get this Smurf you want, and you think, "Fuck." That's how it happened, doesn't it?
That's how it happened. Yeah. Well, here's another issue. I mean, how long has he been in this hole, and how many people's watches are impacted beyond the last 6 months? I mean, is it possible that somebody who bought a watch off of him maybe 8 or 9 months ago is now actually wearing a watch that could be reported as stolen?
That's where it becomes a mess.
Yeah, it's a big mess.
Because title, who has title? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Marty, $5. Today will go down in history as Watch Nicholas Day. Look, I think a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon. He was an easy target. Okay, he was an easy target in the sense that he. When do you think his peak was? I think when he was at the Crescent Hotel. He should have just stayed there. His big
mistake, Archie, was when he started doing the blackout and he wanted to raise that funding for a new store for like $2,000 a pop. It all went south after that, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's he had so much money came in. I remember he was renting the penthouse in LA for $100,000 a month.
Yeah, but that, in all fairness, that didn't last too long. I think that lasted 4 weeks.
Hey, just quickly as well, I know it's not a super chat, but Watch Nicholas just made a pretty good comment as well. If you want to pull that one up.
Hey, is he coming on?
I'm in a different screen. Oh, dang. There would be less victims. Timok and others helped this guy just like this. Well, the problem is, Watch Nick, you don't know. They present a certain facade, and I mean, there's parts of his story I really liked. I thought, wow, he's got an interesting story. He had been, he had some time in prison. Came out, started the watches, and he had an interesting format, he had attitude, of course. He had attitude. But I kind of think with this stuff here, I don't know how you get out of a $5 million. It's not his choice to decide on bankruptcy or what he does. That is ridiculous.
Maybe in this day and age, he's identifying as not being bankrupt because you can do that now. You can identify as a fucking potted plant these days, right?
He's fluid rich.
That's the one, yeah.
Did Roman make an announcement of any kind on his channel?
No, these announcements have literally just come out minutes ago.
But this came out like, was it 5
But
or 6 or 7?
what's Roman involved with it? How's Roman involved?
Because he was still hanging out with him right up until the end. They were still visiting each other's offices and locations and going out for dinners and stuff like that.
Super chat.
Mick, $10. Funny story. Was at BMW yesterday picking up oil, etc. Walked through showroom past 2 sales guys on the way out. Dropped an item, both hands full and no help. I don't need validation. Buy used. Well, that's a bit disappointing. Was at BMW yesterday picking up oil, etc. Walked through showroom past 2 sales guys on way out. Dropped an item, both hands full and no help. There you go, Mick. Thank you so much. It's what do you say?
That's because
Ronnie,
it wasn't the service department; it was the sales department.
Sales, not service.
Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this. I mean, how is that going to impact the people that were working with him? I mean, would you do business with Darcy and Liz?
What are they doing? They're doing what sales, are they?
Yeah, well, they're pretty much like in what you would call the backpacker stage. So they're like just picking up watches, flipping them, and they're like go-betweens pretty much, right?
JJ, how are you?
Hello, fellas. How are you?
Hey, how are you, JJ?
By the way, I'll come back to you, JJ. 1 minute. Ronnie Paul, did you see Liz had a dog in the back of the Mercedes?
I did. I saw that. That's friggin' terrible. Well, I don't know what to say. Listen, Archie, I was at my sister's cottage this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
She drives a X3 BMW, but that's
nice car.
Nice
I know
car.
an X3 is SUV, but it's actually a mid-size SUV.
Yes, exactly. Well,
they're expensive. They're not cheap.
Archie, if you saw the inside of what that vehicle looked like, your head would have fallen off. It was filthy.
Why is that?
I asked my niece. I looked around in the car, and the carpets are all like gravel pits and stuff. And I said, "Well, when was the last time somebody gave this car a good vacuuming?" And she looked at me with this smirk on her face, and she says, "No one's done anything with this car in the last 3 years."
Is that fake Mike the Snake?
Yes,
the one above you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, when did he grow his hair back in?
Here we go. Super chat. We got super chat from Mookie, $5. Guy faked several multi-million-dollar robberies, and Timok's response: "Well, maybe he really feels bad this time."
Sounds about right. When they're
JJ, what's your opinion on this?
right now, I've been a little out of the loop, Arch. I've been coming and going. Just got home, so I didn't watch any of the new videos.
No,
I'm not sure what's actually happening to comment.
No, we've had Paul Thorpe was on our stream for an hour and a half.
Oh, all right.
We've seen a video that Darcy, one of the employees of Timepiece Gentlemen,
who
has basically said
he was the he was the videographer for TPG.
What was his name? Dogski? I don't know who
Darcy. Remember Darcy with the beard? He got given the Corvette. Remember the Corvette? He got given a Corvette.
To tell you the truth, I really didn't follow him like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, again, so you had Paul Thorpe on.
Super chat.
Here we go. We got another super chat from Mookie.
No, you done that one.
We did that one. JL, $3. There we go. It's interesting. Non-members have wrenches.
Why is that interesting? The mods that are good at modding have wrenches. Has nothing to do with being a member.
I've got to tell you, JJ, it's just a disaster. It's basically, it looks like the wizard thing. Wizard's like an altar boy compared to Timepiece Gentleman. That's what's emerged.
Oh man, so it's like a extra large helping of wizardry.
Timepiece Gentleman has made a video saying he's $5 million. $5 million in the hole.
5 million?
$5 million.
He self-admitted it.
But don't worry, he's going to pay it all back. He's going to pay it all back.
He posted a video on YouTube on his channel admitting to it all.
It's a lot of overtime to pay all that back, isn't it? Flipping burgers and shit.
Tell me this: you're in finance, aren't you, Ronnie Paul?
He's not coming out of that hole, Archie. I mean, you can't.
How much money does somebody make in a lifetime?
Dude, listen, $5 million. You're talking about like, I don't know, upper management, like directing managers. They would be making some pretty good coin. You know, they could maybe find a way to get out of a mess like that. But you're talking about a directing manager who's managing like, you know, an office location somewhere around the globe for a particular company. That's the only way I can see it. I mean, I don't know how else he's going to make that money back. It's just impossible. There's no way. I mean, paying it off in installments with interest at today's interest rates. There's just no way. There's just no way. There's no way to do that. Absolutely not. By the way, back to Darcy and Liz. I know you mentioned that you don't think they had anything to do with it, but that doesn't really matter. The fact is he's associated with them. So Archie, would you consign your bluesy with them? Honestly?
No, of course not. Now, let me I'm just playing with some figures, if you don't mind.
Yes, please do. Please play with the figures.
It's not
what term do you want the loan? What term do you want? Do you think? Well, let's make it a 15-year loan.
5% interest.
Yeah, I was thinking 5% too. Yeah, 5%. That's going to be compounded, right?
Okay, the monthly.
Is that going to be
at 5% interest? Because he wants to pay it off within 15 years. Otherwise, he's got no chance of making any money for himself. The repayments would be $39,539.68 a month.
For sure.
He'll be doing it from his $100,000 a month penthouse suite
with the Lamborghini
parked in the garage.
Has he sent that back?
Let me ask you this. Do you think I believe those cars were all leased.
Yep.
Every single one of them. So, I mean, what does he do? He just takes the car back and throws the keys at him and that's it.
But I got a deed to the X5 and I got a apartment in Hong Kong. Oh, no, hang on. That's someone else. Sorry. My bad.
That's the wizard.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Archie, I wouldn't be too worried about the cars. The cars he'll just take back and throw the keys and run. He'll run out of the dealership.
Is that a lease or she owns it outright?
No, they own it. They own it. The car's 3 years old. Listen, the car's 3 years old. I mean, it looks like a nice car. It drove great. The eldest niece gave me a ride, drove me in it when we went into town. She was hitting all of the turns and going really fast, like in a, Grand Prix. And it held well. It's a nice ride. But it's just sad.
What size engine has it got on the back? What does it say on the back?
It's an X3.
Yeah, but what size engine? There's different engines for that.
I don't know. That's a 4-cylinder, right? Are you asking?
No,
me
you can get
turboed or something. I don't know.
Well, is it a 20 or a 30 on the back? Does it say 20 or is it diesel, petrol?
Oh, it's petrol. It's not a diesel.
Okay, it's probably either okay, fair enough. But it was a nice car.
Yeah, it's a nice car, but she drives it and she's got the 3 kids in it and no one gives none of them give a damn about, cleaning their shoes before they get inside or, saying, let me help.
You have those rubber mats. You have the rubber. you have the rubber mats. Then you just take it out, shake it out. So,
well, the mess is beyond that, Archie. It's 3 years of not having cleaned the car. It's a mess. Even the dashboard has like a thick layer of dust on it.
Listen, it could be worse. You could be 5 million in the hole.
Yeah, you could be. That could be worse. Yeah.
I could hear Bear cringing right now with all this watch talk.
Well, where is Bear?
Bear's on holidays until the 14th.
Oh, you think he's listening to this?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know.
He didn't text you.
So, Arch, what did Paul Thorpe say?
Yeah, what did Thorpe say? I didn't catch the first part of your show. What did he say?
He basically said it's fucked. He's had 2 people have confirmed that one person has a Rolex Submariner, steel Rolex Submariner that they gave to Consignment, and he hasn't paid them for it. And the other person has maybe $100,000 plus watch.
Wow. So is Paul making any effort to contact him, or is he staying out of it?
He's tried, but he's not a magician.
Oh, so he's not answering.
Hey, JCB, how are you, man?
Hey, good man. Hey, I just came on real quick because I was looking at the Timepiece Gentleman's website. I've got to show you something. It's fucking hilarious.
Just released the new video.
Hey,
Hello to my drinking partner. How are you, man?
Hey guys, good to see you. Good and timely. Good to see you, sir. Have a look at this. It's fucking hilarious. All right, just share my screen for a real quick second.
Yeah, sure. Put it up.
You got it?
Oh, sorry. Here we go. It's coming up.
All right, so this is time. Get rid of that super chat.
Yeah.
It's Timepiece Gentleman's website. Let's go to let's click on Richard Mill.
Mm-hmm.
Look what it says. It seems we can't find what you're looking for. The fucking irony. How funny is that? Isn't that exactly what's happened? He can't find the Richard Mill.
Just quickly. Fat Beach Bresco, $5. Dossier entry 666. Story of the day is Timepiece Gentleman, but some punters think their personal jealousy and spite deserves center stage. Eyes on you, JL.
Let's have a look for some Patek. Oh, seems we can't find what you're looking for. I think he's lost it all.
What's funny, not funny, but ironic is he's been, and which we pointed out a couple of days ago on the shows, is that he's been really trying to pump out watches on Instagram with posts lately. So did he liquidate to try to pay people back, or was that just like some getaway money? Who knows?
I don't know. There's plenty of Rolex on his site, but who knows where the fuck that's coming from.
Hey, can I just mention something that I had heard about with regards to California currently?
Yes.
Because the state is so stressed because it doesn't have funding or funds.
Yes.
When it comes to the legal system, they've had to look into something called decarceration. And what it is they're going through all of their dossiers as to what the inmates are in for, and if it looks like they're in for a nonviolent crime, the state's just giving them early release. So with regards to how he was caught doing the drunk driving and stuff like that, that charge is actually one of the crimes that's listed on their decarceration list. So you won't see him doing any time for that. Simply because they just can't afford to house them.
Have them in the prisons, yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much money. So now he's in for this trouble, depending how this goes. But even this it's considered a non-violent crime, and if the government looks at it that this is a civil issue and not a criminal issue, then they definitely won't put him in jail. So.
Oh yeah, this is 100% civil. 100%.
Even if they put him in jail, they're not going to put him in that long anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why he'd go in and he'd fill out the paperwork. He might be in there for about a week and then he walks out the door.
The issue is, though, he's sold watches all across the country, so this is going to be a federal crime, I bet.
Well, but would he get charged only if he gets caught visiting the other states in which he created the problem?
I have no idea. I don't know how that works. I'm just, speculating like everybody else. But if he only ran the corporation out of one state, then I guess it would be, a California issue. But I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, though. What do you think? What if some like mystery man bails him out at the end? Do you think like that happens? Someone says like,
well, then if somebody does bail him out and it's confirmed that he has been bailed out, then he must have some serious dirt on some very important people.
Well, it could just be someone looking for attention, though, right? Like, did you notice? The reason I say that is I felt like there was a little foreshadowing when he said, I don't want someone to come bail me out. I want to dig my way out of this alone. But
you think there's people out there with more money than brains, JJ? Come on, surely not.
Well, there's someone out there that could throw around $5 million to make him, work for them permanently after this, and maybe re-engineer him as
as a concubine.
How could you re-engineer out of that mess? It's unfixable. It's unfixable.
Do you look at what the videos, the Timepiece Gentleman videos, the views that you get? I mean, he's definitely a sellable story. I'm not saying it's a good story, but an interesting one nonetheless. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm saying there's some. It's no Jay's Grace, but I'm not saying I'm the moron, but I'm just saying there must be more out there somewhere.
Well, in his first year existence as TPG, he was apparently they were looking at, I think Netflix or somebody was looking at him to do a weekly show, but that nothing ever became of that. So I don't know. Are you saying he might write a book? Is this all for a book? Has he reached that point that he wants to write a book and try to sell it?
I mean, I don't think it was a plan to do all this to write a book, but I think now that it's happened, there could be an interesting story to be told, Maybe this was the shitty ending they need. I mean, hey, they just did a Madoff video on Netflix, right?
Oh, did they?
Yep. I didn't really watch it, but I saw the...
Well, maybe they'll get Marky Mark to play his part.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That would be.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is very much a sad day. It's very, very sad because the sad thing is we've got real people who've sent watches in who have lost them. People like Ronnie Paul. That's the sad thing. We were talking yesterday, how would you upgrade your people? Well, you send them here, he going to get you a good price, and then you've lost them all. Could you imagine that? How would that hurt?
Yeah, that absolutely sucks, man. I don't have to imagine.
Sorry, I like Sturdy Danny's comment. He could do a book and call it "Luxury to Lost."
I
think I've been there myself.
No, to Lost, but
the thing is, like, the ridiculousness of the way he acts is comical, but unfortunately for the $5 million worth of merch that he took from other people, that part's not very comical. That's the part.
Well, he had an investor for $3 million. He said. An investor, and then consignment is basically $2 million.
Well, the consignment part is really, I mean, investors, you take risk. I mean, if you can't evaluate who you're dealing with, you win some, you lose some. As Arch used to say back in the day, you need to get your head read, to give that type of money to him. But hey, that's a risk you take, right? That's doing business. But the consignment people didn't sign up for a risk. They signed up to sell a watch.
Yes. No risk, because he said, if it doesn't sell, I'll give you the watch back. But he was using those funds to pay other people who it's just a disaster. And at what stage, when you're in a hole, stop digging. He's obviously been digging. And it's an absolute disaster. And the sad thing is, people have lost, they've done their ass on this. See, the problem is watches aren't that easy to sell. They're not that easy. Even, Rolex and stuff like that is not always that easy to sell. It's,
Yeah, you're limited to your customers, right? Especially during these times.
Maybe that's why it's best to keep steel stunners, Ronnie Paul, instead of going for bling.
So part of my reasoning going behind that, going after that Smurf, being the blue bezel and the blue dial on the white gold, is that's an 18 karat gold piece, and right now the price or the value of that watch is based off of the artistic merit and the branding, right? It's a Rolex, so you're paying for the name and you're paying for the brand.
Sure.
Let me tell you something. If the price of gold goes up, and goes up by a lot, pretty soon the material out of that watch will make that watch more expensive than the brand name.
Yeah, but it would have to go up so much. I mean,
Mick M, $5. I asked him in February to find me a GMT, and no kidding, I didn't get a call back.
How did you make that request? Did you phone them? Did you email them? Did you talk to them? How did you do it? I'd be interested in knowing. You can leave it in the comments, I guess.
Very true. It's I got to tell you guys, that's a very, very sad day today in the watch community, because I mean, look, as much as Watch Nick, we can say he's right. It's a very sad day that people have done their shirts, and it's easy in hindsight. It's always easy to say, you know, oh, I told you so, but it's.
I got to take a call. I'll see you guys.
No,
thanks for having me on.
Hey JJ, thank you so much
buddy.
for coming on, guys. I'm going to wrap up in a minute.
See you, JJ.
I want to thank everyone who has super chatted today, and let's start from the top there. Patel Philippe, Neo, NATO, John C, Patel Philippe, Trading Profits. We had Neo, D-Time Love Show, Patel Philippe, Neo, and Bear Clooney Watches.
Oh, so he was around.
Hey,
yes, he was. Patel Philippe, Neo, Mr. Zoso, Nelson Oliveira, Finchy, The Watch Lounge, AD Never Calling, Art Vanderlei, Brew, Finchy, Patel Philippe, Jar, and we answered his question there. They don't do that. They don't operate their business where you keep your stock and they sell it by it. They don't operate like that. Faye Clegg, Mookie, AD Never Calling, Finchy, Mr. Zoso, Patel Philippe, Box and Docs, John C, Air King Sargan, NATO, John C, Hoff on Smash, Patel Philippe, Thomas Burdett, Patel Philippe, Air King Sargon, Ron Chef, former backpack dealer, Patel Philippe, Big Tony, Patel Philippe, Toyota Mo, Dirk Diggler, Patel Philippe, Loose Tooth, Basil's Beazle, H, Patel Philippe, Toyota Mo, Brand New Lover, Neo, Esteban Silva. We had Finchy, Zeppi, Patel Philippe, Dirk Diggler, Ross Rachel Brady, Madman, Pat, Matt M, Matt P, Toyota Mo, Medium Legend, Eric L, John C, Loose Tooth, Mental Jock, Mobster, Dirk Diggler, Marty, Mick, Mookie works for Watch Nicholas,
Yep.
JL, Fat Beach Brasco, and Mick. Guys, that is the show for today. I'll be back on in 9 hours' time, and we'll do a show tomorrow. Love yous all. Stay positive. Love your watches. That was been a good show. Thanks, Timely, for coming on. Thank you,